Now that you've conquered the fortress of Voith, and you presumably are going to... You killed everyone in the building.
With the exception of those that are probably going to gank us if they decide to wander upstairs.
The question is after you... What is the plan after you descend the Great Jumping Off Point?
Well, the plan's always been, we're finding Dammerhall, baby.
Well, apparently we're going to take a turn into the Lost World. No, first we've got to, I would say, find someone to keep this place. Because, we don't want another random bunch of assholes to show up and take it. Not have the route clear when the family comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about having the Skizrael that are with us have, however they're going to communicate with the gnomes, encourage the gnomes and pretty much try to make this like a joint union of people that this could be their like trade hub or something. That way it's, always has people in there they know if the drow are coming back or not.
So what was the question
bit out of the
specifically?
way for it to be a trade hub for them, but
yeah.
Hey, there's kobolds we might still have not killed all of to liberate. And they might be amenable to not to watching the place.
The question was what we're going down after the jumping off point.
What's your plan going after the dropping off point?
I mean, I guess the same plan as we've had. We don't really know what's down there or anything, so.
Yeah. What we've got is what we had before, but one less drow fortress between us and then.
Yeah, it's kind of like you handed us a map of no, not a map. You just dropped us down on the coast of Europe, and now we're going to go find Czechoslovakia. I guess we'll know we're there when we get there.
I mean,
I don't really have an answer for this question other than we're going to continue on the same thing we've been doing.
Okay.
We'll know it when we see it.
That's just kind of everyone's answer then?
Seems that way.
I've got Thrum has a very specific strategy.
Okay.
Step 1, jumping off point. Step 2, I don't know. Step 3, Dammerhall and profit.
No, Cope, you have to whisper the part about killing Fergis.
Basically, all you have to have is Fergus to sire an heir, and then you can get rid of him.
Profit.
So now, GM, I need to examine if I did a bad job foreshadowing the hints I gave you, or if you guys just don't remember 4 sessions ago.
Probably the latter.
Who are you people? What are you doing in my house?
If it's past the great jumping off point, then we probably said it'll matter. It's not even in our range of vision yet.
Because 4 sessions ago is, 2 months ago plus?
Okay, someone's holding a fucking drag race on their microphone.
I thought it was the ghost coming out of the Holy Grail.
We have notes, right?
No, it was straight up a drag race. Since Corona hit, the state highway behind my house is very sparsely populated, and it has become the popular drag race point. There'll be like 40 or 50 ATVs and motorcycles that go by, all racing and doing tricks and stuff. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I'm not recalling any kind of foreshadowing about the future of.
Do we have anything written down?
I gave you guys a sheet for notes, but it looks like you haven't actually written in it since session 2.
Notes
Yeah.
for elves.
See, I thought I would listen to all the recordings and therefore remember everything, but then life.
Yeah, we should probably be more active with this notes-taking part.
Well, I've been if someone else wants to use that, that's fine. I've been recording the things on my Google Doc, but I'm not seeing anything about foreshadowing below the sinkhole.
Oh yeah, of course. You write all the recaps.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, we're going to have days before we get there, so we can try and remember on the way.
Also, we still have that guy tied down on the first floor that was the ambassador. He might know some stuff that's beneath the sinkhole.
What's after the Great Jumping Off Point? You mean you killed all my friends and you didn't even know what it was for?
Oh, come on now. They weren't your friends.
But the quest.
I rolled into the country, then I conquered it, and I sat down all the leaders who surrendered to me, and then asked them if they had anything valuable that made them worth conquering. Then they told me no, and I said, "Oh, my bad," and we all left. All right. So we will get into the game here then. One moment. Let me paint you guys a picture of this real quick. We start on the bottom floor of the Fortress of Voith. We see the throne room on the bottom with several dead panthers or leopards, sorry, and drow strewn about. And as the camera goes, we go to the stairway that is just covered in blood. As you pan up to the second floor, where there is the guard room, that's an absolute just field of carnage and slaughter. As you go up the next floor, there's numerous drow bodies around the entrance to each and every floor, along with some crushed, hacked, and burnt kobolds. Till we finally reach the very top floor, where there is a meeting room with another throne that has numerous drow strewn about it in various states of vivisection, as the party is catching their breath after going through all of that. It has been like 15 minutes, or like I didn't count the rounds, but it's been a bit. But it's been a very furious like 10 minutes.
Well, it's been like an hour and 15 minutes because we took that short rest.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but still, comparatively, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, we just came in here like a buzzsaw. Especially when our cleric literally became a buzzsaw.
You think that lot's still sitting at the bottom of the stairs?
I wouldn't go down there assuming that they haven't, or that they're not.
I've got 2 spell slots left and 4 cure wounds.
Are we supposed to be back on the fort map, or are we still just going to be in the...
I moved you to the overworld map.
Gotcha.
So I will go ahead and use one of those on me and see if that feels. Plus 7.
I think we've still got 2 charges on the
pint. Yeah. While they're healing themselves up, I'm gonna examine the body of the Baroness.
Okay.
See what she has on her.
Rereading it, and you take 1 level of fatigue for its drunkenness alcohol.
If you're not a dwarf.
Ah, not a dwarf, yeah.
Yeah. If you're a dwarf, you're fine.
Sure.
Is
Okay.
there something you need to tell us?
No, not at all.
We did not level up last time, right?
No.
You did not.
No.
Okay.
Secret
You're-
house was a large, burly gnome.
You're certainly getting closer to it, but the gap between 5 and 6 is extra wide because how they structured 5th edition is how it is that it's broken up into 4 tiers of play. Like if you wanted to start at like a higher tier game, you would start at level 6 rather than level 1. So those gaps are intentionally a little bit wider, so you don't skip from one to the other really quick. Because it's at level 5, you would need 6,500 XP, and then to get to level 6, it's 14,000. But that from level 6 to level 7, 23,000 is what you need, which is a smaller gap percentage-wise. So, but yeah, no level up. All right. So sorry about that tangent there.
No problem.
So some people are healing. You were gonna do something, Fergus?
Yeah, I'm going to examine the body of the Baroness and see what she has on her.
Okay, so who should we get the last one of this for in case they do fight at the bottom of the stairs?
I think we should probably focus it on a handful of few to clear out the bottom. If we spread out too evenly, then we won't have enough oomph to get through it, I imagine.
I have a feeling we might be able to get rid of them quickly if we take, and I kind of point to the body I'm rummaging through, if we just throw this down the stairwell and tell them that if they don't run, we're going to make them look like this.
At the same time, I'm a bit loath to leave survivors and let word of this spread too quickly.
So, I have one more cure wounds for someone who is going to be in combat.
I would give it to either Thrum or Taskill, to be fair, because they're going to be the most melee of all of us.
I would say
Yeah,
Taskill,
right.
he's proven capable of tanking hits quite easily, while the rest of us pick him off.
Yeah, that puts me at 9 HP, so...
On the Baroness's body, she is wearing a chain shirt. She has a whip that she was using in combat. On the whip, you do notice that there is a small red gem fixed to it, which you kind of recognize as a gem of Battle Mage, because you guys have one as well. So it was acting as a arcane focus for her.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, she doesn't look like she actually had a lot of loot. She probably hastily had to get ready, so anything else that she'd have on her was probably still in her quarters.
Yeah. Can we actually go back to the other map to see the layout of this floor, or do we need to be on this floor?
No, it's fine. I was just.
I'm just trying to remember all the.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to move our tokens right now, but.
Yeah. I already. I figure we're just gonna resolve what you guys are doing as far as anything else in here, but I already tallied up all the loot on a sheet that I was just gonna put in the chat, so we don't have to go room by room.
Okay, then we don't have to go room to room. We can just
I can take you back to the other map if you want to see what it looks like.
Once we resolve a few things, we'll probably be here for a day or two before.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys should be able to see that again now.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's her bedroom over there.
Yeah. I don't think. Does anyone actually have any hit die to roll for a short rest?
I do. I have all 5 of mine.
Probably should do that.
Alright.
I think Thrum has some. Yeah, he's got 3.
Yeah, Ivy has some. She'll roll hers. I'll put her to full.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And if Mushroom Guy has any.
Yeah. How many does Mushroom Guy have? 3d12?
He's got 3d12 because he's a level 3 barbarian.
Well, that's more like it.
So I'm back to full and full fighting chip at this point.
Yeah, because Warlocks get it all back.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the people who are resting. I suggest the rest of us go through whatever is on there. Like, we don't have to go through that because you said you already had tallied it up.
Yeah.
But for flavor, we're going to go through the people. And I do suggest that we do drop the Baroness's body down and get them at least frightened and off kilter. Best case scenario, they're going to run out and there's going to be some spiders that are looking for an easy meal.
Give me a few more minutes, and maybe I'll just go down there with some frozen armor on and let them kill themselves.
That works too.
Did Thrum detect any?
Sorry. What?
Sorry, I put it in the chat. I should.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's going to do his focus and take a minute to concentrate and see if he can determine if they are still around.
Let's see. It's a mile radius, and it's the exact number of drow, correct?
Hold on, let me hit what it is. I think it's more specific. What's it called?
Primeval awareness.
Awareness. There we go.
Yeah, 5 miles is present their numbers and the general direction in miles. So yeah.
And distance in miles from you. The creature's general direction and distance in miles from you.
You detect 5 drow, all of which are within 1 mile of you.
No single blip a few miles out from us.
So at least one of those guys at the bottom of the stairs is fucked off. Quite a far ways. Possibly forever.
This map down here is not up to date. I just did this for you guys to see the floor plan if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about moving your tokens or anything like that.
Backstabbing bastards could have killed their captain and the rest of them run off.
Well,
but their scent's still pretty strong, so it's within a mile.
I just come out of the bedroom that they were in with a bag full of stuff. Well, I suggest we go back down and make sure that there's nothing that could attack us while we're actually trying to rest.
Yep.
Right. No sense hauling the whole thing down.
I somehow have a monocle.
This is a content of the bedroom, by the way.
I'll just go ahead and...
Okay, so I definitely have a big old sack full of stuff.
Yeah.
Fergus walks out with the Santa sack on his back. This place is pretty empty. There's nothing here. I think we should move on.
I have a mysterious pipe in my mouth. I haven't lit it yet, but it's there.
Wait, there's a locked cabinet in there?
A locked cabinet.
I don't think I have the whole cabinet. I imagine I would have to unlock that.
How do you know I copied the descriptions of the loot exactly as they had it in the book? So that parentheses is exactly what they said.
Oh, positively shocking lingerie. If this were a different campaign, I'd be all over it. But let's.
Listen, I don't.
Even this campaign, he's tempted.
Thrum does in his free time. This is a no judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to try to unlock that cabinet?
If you're taking a short rest, I would say you'd probably succeed. It's like a basic lock, so it would be like a DC 10. Just spamming it, you'd get it, so it's not a big deal.
Gotcha.
I like the idea that the drow actually called them mild narcotics because not even they know what they're shooting up. Hey, I just know it's more mild than the intense narcotics.
Love the voice.
Around because you guys are basically hanging out here for like a half hour, for an hour, right? Just short rest. Around halfway through, you guys hear some scraping coming from the stairwell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is Juan coming up?
What?
Is Juan coming up? Oh, different campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, Juan. Juan is stealthing up.
He's so stealthy, he snuck into another campaign.
Either him or Grumblejack. That's those heavy plays trying to do the spiral staircase is always entertaining.
Does anyone look, or do you just keep the door sealed or something?
Meh.
I would probably train my eyes at the door and prepare to shoot something if it is dangerous, but otherwise, not open it.
Yep.
Somebody just opened it.
A long, spidery leg pokes out from the stairwell.
I'm gonna open it, assuming I know who that is.
Yeah, it's one of the Skizral hunters.
Hi, what's the word?
Was checking. You seem to have fared well. Survived. It had been quiet for some time. Since the last few got stuck in our webs down below.
Called it.
Good work. It was tenuous, but we have proven victorious.
We lost one of ours.
Oof.
At some point in the middle, the Drow retook the smaller tower and used the light ballista. We couldn't see cover fast enough.
I'm sorry to hear that. What were they called?
Fuck you, Cope.
Wow, that's quite the name.
His name was
said
Cope.
that in the spider voice.
His
I
name
was
was
trying to
Steve.
bring some heart to the campaign.
No, it's fine.
That's
It's just
it,
these
fucking Cope.
spider names are freaking weird.
Oh, there's his name, Nolgrim.
There it is.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Cope. I'm sorry for your
Throw
loss.
in an unnecessary apostrophe and we're done.
Fuck you, Cup. Sorry for your loss of folks.
We all knew the risks when we came.
There you go. You get two of them.
Yep.
I can't even try on that.
That means it was done correctly.
Yep.
Okie poo.
And there was only two of them with us, right? Or was there three?
Three.
There was 3.
Okay.
You
It's actually
need to have a
pronounced-
minimum of 2 to survive to help you get down the great jumping off point.
It's actually pronounced Faoki Yukope.
Yoki Tope.
There's one area we haven't checked yet.
Yeah, we haven't checked the basement yet.
We still have a prisoner to attend to.
Yeah, I left him tied up downstairs, but who knows if he got away or not. But let's go find out. I'm sure he'll be delighted to see us.
Addressing the Skizral, I think we will most likely spend a cycle here and rest up and heal up before we move out toward the great jumping off point. If y'all find an area where you feel comfortable or want to join us inside.
We can make space. There seems to be ample room for us, and you seem to have left a excess of fluids for consumption.
Oh yeah,
By all means, help yourself.
yeah. Just leave behind the less meaty bits for us to pick through.
Yeah, out of character, it's not an actual thing written on a giant spider stat block, but I know for a fact spiders in real life have a terrifying ability to fit into spaces a lot smaller than you'd think they should be able to. So I'm just ruling a large spider can fit through a medium-sized door.
That's pretty much raw anyway. They squeeze through, but
Yeah.
there's always the compression rule, which lets them go even a size smaller.
But not through the keyhole.
Which is impressive given that, they have a carapace, not really known for the squishiness.
Yeah.
It's because their legs make them look bigger than they actually are.
Fair.
We should cook the snow leopards.
Well, they also probably have an ample supply of rations around here somewhere.
Yeah, you did find a kitchen. So, excluding the basement, which you're not going to yet, I'll just copy paste.
Is someone handling the inventory, by the way, or?
Not as yet. I mean, if you want to copy it in now, go ahead.
I'll stick it in to.
Yeah, the bracketed things are the bulk of it. So, working your way down the tower in the guard captain's quarters, you find this.
Actually, did we find what was in the locked codex?
You haven't. You just found a book. You
Oh,
haven't
okay. So
yet.
the lock. Oh, so the codex was in the block. I got you.
in the locked cabinet.
Nolgrim would take a bit of time to look through the codex if it was presented as part of loot while he's resting.
Sure. We'll hit that in a second. I'm just throw it out there. So you guys see what I just put in the chat there? That is what was in the guard captain's room.
Do we have a handout for the bag of holding to put in our inventory?
My immediate thought is almost as many healing potions as we used.
The bag of holding right now is full.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just got 500 bulk of food in it.
I think you guys have a wagon handout somewhere.
Yeah, we do.
Got it.
Yeah, it's probably just on there. Inside the pantry, which is just off the kitchen, you find this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for now, just let me track it all down, and we'll go through what we want to keep and what we want to.
Yeah, I'll let you handle the inventory. You're better at that, Go.
That was Everybody Loves Raymond.
I already told a lot of it we probably won't be bringing with us.
Yeah.
If not taking a little while to convert to coinage with the 3 civilizations that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of wine for me to pilfer, though.
There's also the torture room. It's got multiple devices used for torture, but they're not something you'd bring with you. So these are the only real items of note in there. Those 20 daggers of every shape, size, and serration you can think of. So just get creative.
Torture scroll. I'm
We'll-
intrigued by what
Yeah,
that is.
we'll probably poke around at that too later.
And finally, in the alchemist workshop and the conjoining storeroom, you have this.
Mm-hmm.
That common alchemical supplies will probably be able to go a long way towards making stuff once I'm actually skilled at using that thing.
Yeah, that's why I was reading about tool proficiencies yesterday, is that if you're proficient in alchemy tools, every long rest, as part of your long rest, you can create acid, alchemist's fire, I think it was soap, and there's one other thing I'm forgetting, for half the cost, and that's a part of a long rest, so it doesn't even cost you anything other than the ingredients.
Yeah.
So.
I like the idea of getting creative with alchemy stuff though later on too.
Yeah.
Once we can actually get more of like a lab going on.
Mm.
Well, just being able to create that stuff's pretty.
Yeah, alchemist fires do 2d6 fire damage. That's.
I thought it was 1d6.
No, it's 2d6.
Okay.
Acid does 1d4, but that's because it's mainly used for melting blocks.
Yeah, it's 1d6 in Pathfinder, but this is
2D.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, in 5th edition, alchemist fire is freaking great. I don't think you add your dex bonus to it unless you're proficient in improvised weapons, but other than that, it's the best thing for fighting trolls. Like, it doesn't do shrimpy damage, and it nullifies their regeneration. It's great. Yeah.
Cask of drow poison.
Fuck you.
I plan on using that against other things now.
Yeah. Other than that, there's just a whole shitload of chain shirts, scimitars, and the usual drow equipment scattered around.
Still no longbows?
No longbows. They do
Damn it.
have plenty of light crossbows and a couple heavy crossbows.
I kick some of the crossbows that are on the ground.
Some of you more familiar with being underground might know that crossbows are generally favored in the Underdark because if tunnels get narrow, the arrows don't hit the ceiling when they arc, so they can get long distances. It's why they're more common. I know it doesn't always work like that, but that's an explanation I'm going with.
It's just a simpler thing, and since it's a smaller size, it'd take up less room.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't count for composite longbows, but there's the rule that you can't use a regular longbow on horseback in Pathfinder.
One day I'll have a longbow. Someday.
Millman?
Just make one out of some drow bones.
Or some mushrooms.
I joked about the mushroom idea before, but I don't think that would fly. So, for
You
now.
have to find the right kind of mushroom.
Spider legs?
And not just the kind of mushroom that makes you think you already have one.
I feel
So-
smaller, so my short bow looks like a longbow.
Nolgrim, you were looking at the Codex of Sphestia, right?
Yes.
Give me a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
Okay.
Even their books are poisonous.
Don't read their literature.
I was gonna say their words are poisonous to his mind.
Poison your minds.
Okay. The first 3 pages are kind of strange and oily and slick to the touch.
I like.
Kind of makes your fingers feel stiff, but other than that, you seem to be okay.
Are the pages sticking together?
No.
Contact poison.
Mhm. Do you read Elven, Nolgrim, by the way?
Everything.
I can.
Yeah, you can cast. If you cast a spell, then you can read it.
Yep. I'll go ahead and take the time to cast. What was this spell?
Comprehend languages.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have the ability to read everything?
I gave
That's
that
what
up
he's
for something. Let me do it as a spell.
Gotcha.
I think it was ritual casting, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, I took ritual casting, so yeah, I'm going to
Mhm.
take the time to ritually cast comprehend languages.
Flipping through the codex, it appears to function as a arcane spellbook. It's probably where the Baroness knew her spells from.
Ooh.
But no one here is actually a wizard, so you can't copy those
If
spells.
there's any ritual spells in there, I could copy them.
Let me look at the spells that she has. I don't.
Also,
think-
we could also sell the spellbook later. We can find someone who's like that.
It also has. I'll read the thing in just a moment. I'm seeing what her spells were to see if there's any ritual ones. Also, I still don't think even if they're ritual, you can transcribe them. It's not a warlock.
It is. It does say that.
Oh, right, because you got the book. That's right.
Yeah.
No, there is no rituals.
Damn.
But yeah, there's also parts of it that act as a kind of history of the Sphestia family, a noble. Well, you kind of collect from the context a kind of embittered minor noble house
Mm.
of the Drow city of. Gotta get the name right because this is important. Notes.
So you want us to write this down?
If you want to. I'm not gonna. Listen, I throw you guys bones, and if you choose not to pick them up, I ain't gonna force your head underwater. Am I mixing metaphors? Yes, I am. But you're not writing it down, so you won't remember next week.
Well, if you don't thoroughly mix the metaphors, you won't end up with a wonderful simile.
I'm still at a loss of what we missed because I go through those fucking videos every week, and I just missed it apparently.
Well, they said 4 sessions ago, so you've got a clue there.
Yeah.
I was doing that before it got cold, so I haven't listened to any in a while.
Yeah.
New Drow City.
Yeah, they were a minor noble house in the Drow city of I'll put it in the chat. Teraya Issie.
Tyrannosaurus, got it.
It looks like due to bad political maneuvering, meaning lots of failed assassinations and coups, because this is Drow, what little remained of the noble house, which was, judging by the look of this, the Baroness and her 2 cousins, which were the Alchemist and Hestia, Sphestia, who you released into the fungal jungle, were the only 3 surviving members of the noble house. And they were banished out here to maintain the fortress of Voids as a kind of punishment.
Well, they maintained it all right.
Kind of insulting that you're so worthless that you're not even worth killing.
Mhm.
We condemn you to the frontier where you could have all the orgies you want.
Yeah, but with like the same 10 people.
Without the proper lube, that's a fate worse than death.
Why do you think
Look
that
back
alchemist?
at that book.
That has far too little gold in it.
Mhm. Oh, also give me an investigation real quick, Nolgrim. Yeah, you're pretty sure those pages are gnome skin.
Ew. Oh,
Ew.
grotesque.
Well, that's just gratuitous right there.
Well, that's where all the lube went. It rubs the lotion on its skin.
How do you think skin leather pages work, Cope?
Have you ever seen Silence of the Lamb?
No.
Lambs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got the reference.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Listen, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, and a great many movies I have seen. It's impossible for both lists to be complete.
I think Silence of the Lambs would be up your alley. It's about a serial killer.
I'm sure it is. I've heard of it. I'm not ignorant. I just haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
So yeah, that is the Codex Svestia. Svestia? Whatever.
And then there was only one.
And then there's the torture scroll that we need to look at, or did I miss that part?
We haven't
No
looked
one,
at it yet.
no one's looked at that yet.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Yeah, I'll say you probably know it's not like labeled, so you just find it in the torturer's place, and it's very many. Well, you could call it more like a passion project journal from the torturer about all the various ways and study of gnome, elven, and dwarven anatomy and how best to inflict pain and suffering upon them, with some very unfortunately well-drawn diagrams. Like, he had talent for sketches, unfortunately.
That sounds sketchy.
It would provide a bonus to torturing any of those three races if that's something that you ever possibly cared to do. Otherwise, maybe you could try to sell it to someone who's screwed up enough to like it.
I think we burned that.
I just fold it and keep it with my other papers. Just in case.
So another floor down.
Yeah, that's all the loot.
Yeah, I think all that's left is to examine the basement.
Yep.
And there's already mushrooms on the ground floor. What's growing in the basement?
Nolgrim, do you want to lead the way with your ice armor in case things go tricky?
I could do that. Yeah, I'll cast Armor of Agathis and lead the way down.
Yep.
Sir, the king is hiding playboys in our legal documents.
First 3 pages are all sticky.
Yeah, the ground floor is cleared out. Those drow at the bottom are not there. Because they've been taken care of by the Skizra, who are now inside. But opening up the hatch to that basement, you have maybe a 20-foot climb down a ladder until it opens up into a wide natural cavern. The area where you on is like an elevated wooden platform built into the side of the cave wall, where there is a small pulley-based crane, as well as a table that guards would normally be sitting at, and all kinds of cages and chains used for holding people, obviously. But beyond the edge of the wooden platform, it drops down about another 40 feet. It goes beyond the edge of your dark vision, but a wider field of mushrooms. No, they're large, like dinner plate size, but they're not like the trees that you had before out in the fungal jungle. They kind of just stretch along the floor, and echoing in the cavern, you can hear the sound of a small waterfall going into a pool on the far side. And you're only just catching the flickering motions of a few small figures moving in the darkness near the edge of your vision.
Nolgrim will send the bat down to and peer through its eyes to see what sort of critter, or see the numbers that remain. I imagine they're kobold, but to get an idea of the numbers and see if there's any drow hiding among them.
There's definitely no drow. There's not enough cover; they wouldn't be able to hide. But you would wager there's about maybe 35, 40 kobolds left. And on the far side of the cavern from you is a small waterfall which falls into a stock pond, which you can see a couple kobolds throwing like spindly little nets into and trying to pull out fish, while the ones moving about are still pulling up mushrooms and putting them into sacks. It appears even though that the drow are not working over them, they're still working with feverish fear.
I am inclined to free these people if they want freed. Is there any objection to this?
I think we might want to wait until tomorrow in case we got a frenzy on our hands when we try to communicate with them.
That's fair.
Just on the off chance that they get a couple good licks in. We don't really want to kill them, but we don't want to risk having ourselves get killed in the process. And a lot of us are still quite hurt.
That's fine. I have no opposition to that.
Yeah. Until then, I say we go upstairs, and tomorrow we definitely should communicate with them about what happens and see if we can get them freed, and if they are willing to believe us even.
That sounds fair. If we're planning on resting here for a little while and taking it easy, I'm inclined to see what we can do, or what I can do about clearing out some of those spiky outcrops in the courtyard down there, or out there.
I mean, it seems like a natural defense. Do we want to clear them out, or?
I think
we'll be needing to move the wagon through there at least.
Oh, fair point.
But I think turn this place into something that the Skizrael, the Zan, and the gnomes could benefit from, and making it less. I think it'd serve better as a merchant's area rather than a inconvenient spike pit of hurt.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, well, I've got a hammer if you want to have a go at it.
He has this weird scream that comes out of nowhere that shatters rock. I imagine that'll do just as well.
That's the plan. I can only do a few areas at a time, but I imagine I could get through it in a couple hours.
I'm going to go see if our prisoner's still tied up.
And at the same time, I still got this, and swing, pat his war pick and say, sometimes the old-fashioned ways does the spirit of good.
I, Gombo, head back upstairs and go to the ambassador's room and see if he's still there.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, the sheet.
You should start reading the torture scroll to him regarding any sort of drow pages just to mess with him.
Yeah. Ambassador Garius Malthorn is still there. He is still tied up and unconscious, though there is a bruise on his head that wasn't there when you knocked him out and tied him up. So you think maybe people found him and just kicked him instead of untying him.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and not going to. I imagine since this is not the middle of the night yet, we weren't going straight to sleep. I'll just sit there for a while and see if he wakes up. Got nothing else to do?
Yeah. In like an hour or so, he begins stirring and regaining consciousness.
Morning, sunshine.
He seems kind of alarmed that you're not dead by this point. What? Where? He's just speaking in Elven, but you understand that, so that's not an issue.
So good news is you're alive. Bad news is I think you're the only one left here besides us.
He's taking a moment to calculate. You don't need to even do a observation to know that you see a bead of sweat go down his head. He goes, "You wish something then?"
Well, we're going to be descending into the caverns below here pretty shortly, and I figured an ambassador would probably know the lay of the land where you came up from better than anybody. So I figured leave you unconscious and question you, and as long as you answer our questions willingly, I can give you the same offer I gave to another drow way back and just let you fend for yourself out into the fungal jungle there and feel that's a fair trade.
It's quiet for a moment. The land's at the bottom of the great jumping off point. Yes, I have knowledge of those places. I have passed through them. Though, I think it would be more useful to you to have a guide. No?
But you see, we can't exactly trust you, and honestly, if it was any other of the rest of my family, they'd probably just kill you. That's why I'm giving you the questioning now to find out information from you and let you go. Despite the fact that they don't think very highly of me, I'm pretty sure if I put my foot down, they'll still let you go.
Roll me a persuasion.
Okay. $17.
Yeah, more beads of sweat. He goes, but it's just the tunnels and the jungle out there.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you're not the only drow that'll probably be out there. There's let me look up what her name is real quick.
Hestia.
Good old Hestia. We let go in exchange for some information, and she seems to be getting along well enough out there.
You were the reason why she abandoned her post?
Not so much abandoned as did not want to die.
The Baroness was sending patrols out to find her, thinking she was a traitor.
Oh yeah, those patrols are gone too.
If she finds me, she'll kill me.
I mean, there's a chance, but there's also a chance that, she could use any other drow to, work for her.
Plus, there's a whole jungle out there.
Yes.
She was the most dangerous one besides the Baroness.
I gathered as much. She seemed more shifty than the rest, considering she was willing to kill the rest and cooperate with us.
And even if she doesn't find and kill me first, some horrid beast in the jungle will, or a hooked horror in the tunnels.
That is fair.
Releasing me is hardly a motivation.
So I should just leave you here or kill you? I mean, I'm trying to give you as good of an option.
I didn't say that.
I'm trying to give you some fair options. And again, the rest of my family will not tolerate you traveling with us. I might give you the benefit of the doubt. I have grown up with people that, are on the shiftier side. But
I have friends who are elves.
I didn't say that, but he worked with criminals, so. So, I'm trying to meet you halfway here, and if you don't think you can survive out there on your own, I'm sure that there might be some other options. I'm sure that the Skizrael could use an indentured servitude of some sort. They might eat you, but that's neither here nor there.
Are you just trying to scare him?
Yeah.
You give me an intimidate.
It's really crappy, but I was going to do it anyway.
It's 17.
Hungry kobolds.
He intakes air through his nose and gulps for a moment. It's like weighing his options.
I'm trying to be very accommodating here, considering that, the shit we just did to the rest of the drow here. I feel like I'm being more than civil, especially considering the issues with the drow city and how you tried to poison them and then tried to encourage the rest of the people that were marching to kill us all. And
That was the Baroness's orders. I was just following orders on that one.
fair enough, but you still had a hand in it. That's why I figured you'd probably be the most likely to see reason when I'm asking my questions. I'll send you out there with your own weapon and some gear some supplies to survive until you can start gathering your own.
And no Skizrow.
No Skizrow. We have some with us, and I'll let them know that as far as you're concerned, unless you cause problems, that they are to leave you alone until you at least get into the fungal jungle proper. I can't promise anything else otherwise, because, let's face it, they are their own people.
Very well.
You could also try the gnomes again. They might not take kindly to it.
Oh. Very well. Bring me parchment and something to write and untie me, and I'll give you what you need.
Oh, good. Good. I just have some parchment right here. As I just open my bag and pull out a couple blank sheets and a quill.
Yep.
I go ahead and look outside and like, Ivy, I need some extra intimidation in here just to make sure that nothing funky happens.
Right.
And with some backup, I would then untie him and just kind of sit on the bed and let him work.
So yeah, he takes a few moments, but on a kind of rough piece of paper, he draws something out that looks a bit like this. Everyone should see that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't see us doing this ahead of time.
I would also ask him, like, when he was filling this out, like, and also if there's any drow that have forts or anything down below, if you know of, that you could do us a favor and let us know of.
Just along the Traders Road that runs through the bottom of the Great Jumping Off Point. The most predominant landmark past there is the Earth's Wound.
The Earth's Wound?
It's a volcanic rift. It's here on the map.
Gotcha. This Trader's Road that leads to a collapse, is that confirmed or is it unknown?
I've only heard rumors. We only get a merchant to the fort every 3 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been an increase in tremors lately.
Gotcha. Trying to think of any other questions I'd ask him before I send him on his way.
What's that path that kind of stops at the bottom left? It's a detour.
I would point out are the points that lead off into unknown space, are those just unexplored areas that he doesn't know of, or do they lead somewhere in particular?
He would say they go to some other regions of the Underdark. One of them, the one on the lower left-hand corner, is the other part of the Traders Road.
Gotcha.
It flows from that point and then down south through the Great Rift and then down, continuing to the lower right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Traders Road a river?
It's a tunnel.
Oh.
Nonsense. One of these blank roads clearly leads to Dammerhall, and they just didn't label it so we wouldn't know.
That's the spirit.
Is deeper into the underworld, does that lead towards the Drow City?
Yeah, I'll ask him that.
No, that direction, I have been told, does not lead towards the realm of my people.
I am wondering what answer you guys are hoping to get from this, because what are they going to say? Like, yeah, I know you guys just completely murdered an entire fortress full of my dudes. So anyways, here's the location of my homeland.
Hey,
No,
we're way to ensure we don't wander there.
it clearly says right here, this is the path of the walking heroes. Oh, walking madness. Never mind.
Yeah, it says that.
I don't have my glasses.
Slight difference there, bud. Right next to Kenneth's Lake.
No, you mean Michael's Lake.
Oh yeah, Michael's Lake.
The Lake of Salt.
Yep.
Looks like no good way to go.
One last question. What is the blue ghost?
Let me roll something for him. Ba-ba-ba. I don't know. I just heard the name in passing when people who had been to the Rift described it.
So do we know which way leads to the Drow City? Or is it past the Orca jungle?
You do. I mean, product of deduction says it's somewhere along connecting to the Traders Road.
And the Traders Road
Do we
is
want to go
basically the
there?
entire bottom line?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're probably going to be going opposite of where the Drow City is.
Mhm.
But it's good to know which way not to go, because I imagine Dammerhall is not going through the
Yeah,
Drow.
and I want to make sure a route we go doesn't take us directly into the Drow homeland.
It's
And the
probably
path-
deeper to the underworld.
Is the Path of Walking Madness just in name only, or is it just named that for a particular reason?
Give me a persuasion.
Okay, changing tabs. I had the image
Yeah.
enlarged on another tab, so I can see it better.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you see, it's full of value-driven businesses. You'd be mad
Over,
not to
over
shop.
10 would be nice. Jesus.
Yeah. Don't you know that's the tunnel of microtransactions?
No! All right, we're going to have to destroy that. We found our real calling.
He says, only a few traders have mentioned that to me. It's many people do not travel it. They say that those who do are never quite the same on the other side, if they return at all.
Hmm.
It reminds me of a lass down in Corsica.
To be fair, I think it's only Fergus and Ivy who are in the room right
Yeah.
now.
I imagine I would, like, after I got the reason why I'm relaying the questions other people are asking, I imagine, like, I would look at the map, I would be like, wait here a moment, and I would go and, like, show that to the other people
Yeah.
and come back. But,
It's
I'm
color
trying-
commentary.
yeah. Some of it's color commentary, for sure. Well, I believe you've so far lived up to your end of the bargain, so come, I will supply you with what I promised and see you ushered away.
All right. So you give him back his rapier, I assume.
I will give him a rapier. I will give him a light crossbow with 10 bolts.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let him have a chain shirt, and I'll give him 10 days of rations.
Okay. So, if you want to keep track of that, Co.
Yep.
Yep. He's
And I'll, when he's leaving, I'll tell him basically that, well, we're, enemies and everything. I do wish to inform you that if you find your way back to the Drow at large, I am agreeable to compromise and negotiation when it isn't people who are actively trying to kill me. So if it becomes a thing in the future, just so you know, and I Just give him a
Passively
tap on
try
the
to
shoulder. I give him a tap on the back and I push him out, and I
Yep.
let the Skizrael know that to let him go by and unmolested.
Compromise with the Drow? If only there was some sort of system of government in which every member of the society took part. And it was then that Fergus realized that democracy must never come to Dammerhall.
Yeah, so he slinks off into the darkness, little hunched, weakly glaring over his shoulder.
I just smile
Would it
and
be
wave.
okay if, as he's kind of making his way towards the gate, Nolgrim uses his shatter in the area pretty much right next to him, so like the area of crushed rock just stops just shy of him.
He flinches a little bit, but doesn't give you a lot of reaction because this is kind of a death march for him at this point.
I mean, it's better than straight up death, and we weren't going to let him travel with us.
Yeah.
I was going to throw him to the kobolds.
Like I said, this is nicer than most.
As he's slinking off in the darkness, Ivy's up on the wall as he's going through the gate, and she says down to you, Fergus, so I still got some sight on him for a few feet more. Want me to
I was literally
bow.
about to, Gombo, I was literally about to say Freya next to Fergus adjusting her sight on her crossbow and going,
Yeah,
so how far away
Ivy and
counts as we
Freya
let him go?
like skeet shooting.
No, we should probably be men and women of our word, and I did promise that I would let him go if he answered our questions.
That's what I'm asking. How far away counts as let him go?
Just let him go. No firing.
Yeah, that's right, because Freya's got like 900 feet.
No, what if he just gets in an unrelated crossbow bolt training related accident?
What if it accidentally goes off and hits a stalagmite, which accidentally accidents his head?
I mean, if you want to be no better than a drow, be my guest as I walk back into the fort.
Ooh.
And Freya walks back in, and we never learn what happened.
The good news.
It would technically be out of Fergus's sight.
The good news for staying in the Drow Fort is that you guys didn't damage the gate mechanism, so you can just close that drawbridge and you're pretty secure.
Mm-hmm.
I let him survive. The one condition is you're not allowed to check.
But I would claim whatever I could find is the softest and cleanest and least stained of the beds.
Oh, all the beds are very clean. They have prestidigitation. They're not animals.
Just don't lay on them for more than, I don't know what the
That would definitely be the Baroness's bed, which is the most luxurious, followed by the 4 consort beds in the other room.
I'll stick to one of the beds downstairs. Something tells me that even if they're clean, the memories of what happened on those beds is better left to the memories.
And you show the map to everyone, right?
Yes.
Nolgrim, I want you to give me an intelligence test as you're looking at the map.
Can I actually use my cartographer's tools?
No, this is just this is literally something that I told you a few sessions ago to see if your character remembers. If you don't,
Okay.
Awesome, you nailed it. You're looking at it, and Earth's Wound, and you get like a candle over your head moment because light bulbs don't exist yet. And you remembered. You pull out the gnome geologist's journal you picked up in Volstenstad in the observatory, and you flip through because you remember reading a part where a gnome geologist went to a region called the Earth's Wound, and there was a single line. It wasn't like going into detail, but it said that there was a dwarven mine in the Earth's Wound.
Holy hell, guys. I think we got a lead here. And he would go on to describe that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And the Earth's Wound is pretty much that entire wedge up top?
Yeah.
Okay.
A great rift. Yes. definitely a lead. If it was a remote mine, it's at least showing that we're in the right neighborhood.
There's definitely no other dwarven holds geographically close to this location, so other than Dammerhall.
Even if it's an abandoned mine that doesn't quite connect to Dammerhall, it still means we're on the right track, I imagine.
This living fire does concern me. But
I mean, clearly we're going to go on.
This concerns me more.
I was saying, clearly we're going to go on that path anyway, right? I mean, why wouldn't we? There's less chance of running into Drow that way.
As long as we don't take the path of madness, I'm not too keen on that notion.
Yeah, it's at least a thing to look for.
Something tells me the underbuild and the folding boats are not good. Gonna be much use in the land of fire and mud.
And the underbald isn't.
I think we'd have a hell of a time getting this underbolt onto that lake anyway. The folding boat floats up nice and small.
Is it a mine that dwarves use, or it is a mine used to mine dwarves?
Oh god, are we going with Warcraft lore where they originally stone? And gnomes were originally mechanical?
Dammerhall is an old place, but I don't recall it going back to the creation of the dwarves.
Yeah.
Freya, stop eating the mushrooms.
No, I just took the stuff that I found in the Baroness's chamber. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I definitely took one of those
It's
bottles.
fairly bond.
I definitely put one of those bottles of brandy and kind of tucked it away for myself for later use.
Mm-hmm.
And then I opened the other bottle of brandy.
Awesome.
And be like, who wants to celebrate? As I imagine they have plenty of wine glasses.
Yeah, I didn't list all the cutlery.
Celebration is at hand.
Might be weak elf stuff, but spoils go to the victor.
I poured myself a nice tall glass because wine and brandy are definitely Fergus's thing.
Yeah, it's brandy. Just pinch your nose and think of mulled wine.
Mulled wine? Is that what the Zan make?
Similar. The clerics boil it, make it stiffer.
I don't think the same drink.
Yeah, Miku releases his spores to communicate with you and says, actually, we absorb moisture through our feet.
Yo, someone pour some of this on the ground and let him stand on it.
Pour a little out for my homies.
That kind of just begs the question. Like, I Fergus just looks over and like, so does that mean, do Zan actually get intoxicated? Like, actually asking the question to him?
Unknown. Out of character, I'm going to say no, because they are immune to poison, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that would be funny as hell to see, but...
They get so drunk they just turn into a tree.
Changes kingdom.
They turn into rock.
He's shiitake-faced.
Yes, so the brandy is quite fine, Fergus thinks, though it might be weak for some more dwarven palates. But it is a rousing celebration of your victory at this stage in the journey.
Clearly the Zan drink Portobello.
Wow.
You guys are better at those than I am.
What can we say? The Zan are just a bunch of fun guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tis. So now the question begs is, like, I would wait until like Ivy goes to do something else, Like, so does that mean we're getting rid of the cow now, or are we waiting until later? Because we're about to go off into the deep end, literally.
Oh, let me see something real quick.
Like, I would wait until she goes downstairs or something.
You don't need to wait for her to go downstairs. I rolled her fortitude, or not her constitution, to see how she took the alcohol. She is incoherently drunk in her celebration right now.
Just drinking from a bottle as big as she is.
She's just fell over backwards in a chair. It's like, why is the ceiling going away? And at that point, you guys are like, so let's discuss killing Musky.
Hold on tight, lass. It'll all be over in the morning.
Because unlike you guys, she doesn't have advantage on those.
Mm-hmm.
He might secure our friendship with the freed kobolds to give him a present.
Oh my god.
I'd hate to have fed her for all these days and then not get to taste her ways.
Not saying we can't use the meat. Looking at that map, it might be quite a ways to the wound, and we don't know what those tunnels will be like.
Luckily, we did get quite a bit of food from the Drow fortress here.
I think it's a bit more than we can carry. I'll have to rummage through the wagons, but this bag here is full, slap full of meat, 500 pounds worth, and the wagon was about full.
Yep.
We're gonna.
I would say that we should keep those Drow spices. That would probably make the food taste a little bit better.
Of course, you would say that. But once we get on the road with Esky not in tow, then we don't have to forage and worry so much for mushrooms. It's been easy gathering meat for us, and
well, I mean, we have 300 pounds of mushrooms or something? No, 800 pounds. God damn. Might not be bad just to leave her here and
it's
some caretakers.
800 pounds of mushrooms and cavefish, so it's kind of 50-50.
So hear me out. We convinced the kobolds that this is their new god. We just leave it here.
Hey, pass that bottle. I like where you're going. Keep it talking.
I'll leave that one to you two.
I wish there was an easy way to get word out to Zan and the Skizrel and what was the gnome hold again?
Festival.
Well, at least we have the two hunters that could get word to Skizrel, and hopefully this alliance means the two of them are going to work together to hold this place for their own benefit.
And I know they are still probably in communication with the gnomes on Vostenstad.
Mm.
So between the lot of them and even possibly the gnomes down in Faster Vault, they could probably shore up the defenses of this place and make it a nice hub of community.
Though
it would also prevent any drow from.
I'm trying to remember, is the dropping off point in the gap between? Is the dropping off point behind the tower, or is it in front of the wall? In that little gap between the wall and
No. There's a side gate. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. The Baroness did have a key on her, and that's the key to the magical side gate. Because what it is there was the wall, and then off to the left-hand side of the courtyard. You guys skewed right to go up into the tower. There is a wrought iron gate that leads to a tunnel beyond. It's large enough for a wagon to fit through, but by all descriptions you've got from other people, it's that direction to the great jumping off point.
Okay, so that gap between that effective mode is just a deep pit that
it's a 100-foot deep pit.
Okay, so Nolgrim will say, well, I think the defenses are pointing largely in the wrong way. It wouldn't be defending against the drow.
I imagine they'd have a hard time getting through the magical door.
Well, yeah.
I haven't really examined that yet. I mean, it exists, but we haven't taken a good look at it.
Yeah.
But
either way, we need to do something with this place so they don't just repopulate it after we leave.
Yes, I am inclined to, at least for the time being, disable the ballista and give them time to get people here and settled in. think as long as we stand between the drow and this place, they'll delay attempts to for them to take it.
Yeah.
Or if we're feeling bold enough, leaving the key with the Skizrael hunters or leaving the key here and have him lock the gate behind us. So that way they could ensure that no drow sneak in while they're off gathering their people.
Suppose that's a good question. Is the key itself magical?
It is.
Yep, so can't just make a copy.
Is there a key opening on the other side where they could have another key that could open it from the inside?
I mean, it's actual like vertical bars, so you can just kind of stick your arm through.
Yeah.
So I'd be inclined to leave the key here behind us and hope that should we need to draw back that our allies will be here.
I don't know about that. Something could kill them off. They could leave out of disinterest.
I imagine we can lock the door on our way out after. Well, no, because then the Skizrael wouldn't be able to get back, would they?
Yeah, they would not be able to get back.
I mean, if we could unlock it, could it, when we shut it again, could it just automatically lock, or is it one of those things that it's like a bolt latch thing?
It's an actual, you need to turn the key.
Gotcha. Wasn't sure if it was just like an arcane thing, so.
Yeah. It's a magically, the metal bars themselves are enchanted to be extra durable, and the overall door itself has the spell Arcane Lock put on it. But it can be undone by someone who turns the arcane key that you have.
I mean, if we have a way to dispel it, I can put my own arcane lock on it and just make it so us and the the Skizrael that are coming with us are the only ones that have permission to open it. Does
How
anyone
long
have
does
a way
that
to
last?
dispel?
Is it permanent or?
It's permanent until I dispel it.
Huh.
If we have a way to dispel the magic that's on it now.
I think we could just prop it open, and when they come back, they could move the rock and let it.
It still needs to be latched shut with the key,
Oh, it
though.
needs to be shut. Yeah, turned shut. That's what he said. Turn the key.
Yeah.
That's a lot of thinking.
That's why it might be the best idea just to leave the key here.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's that bottle, please.
The trick is to leave the fox on the other side of the shore. Why do you need a fox?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking gingerbread man. I'll get you. Hold on there, Ivy. I'll be joining you soon.
All right. So I assume you guys settled in for a long rest.
Yeah. When we have uneven hit dice, would we get back 3 of them or 2 of them?
I'll say you get back 3 of them. Nolgrim, for the first part of your long rest, you find yourself kind of like tossing and turning, having a hard time getting comfortable. Something's like rattling around inside your head. You ever have like one of those thoughts that just keeps popping in and it's kind of just stopping you from being restful?
Oh yeah.
And you're fixating on the words blue ghost a lot in your head. And eventually you kind of sit up and you feel like you want to look at your book. And you begin flipping through the pages, and you eventually come to an entry that it was probably then been there when you wrote it in there in that fever state way back in Master Vault, but it's one of these things where it never really popped out into you until this exact moment. So I am sharing a handout with just you.
Okay.
You might be able to see that now.
Book of Grudges?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the entry.
Okay. I know that looks like I got an errand to run in this next part of the journey.
Quiet over there. We're trying to sleep.
Why didn't you just pick your own room? Why didn't you just pick your own bed? This is awkward.
I didn't pick it. The bottle picked it for me. We're supposed to be here. Now be quiet.
There's like 80 open beds.
He'll be okay.
Relax, that's just my knee.
That must accelerate at exceptional speed. Mm-hmm.
All right, so your long rest comes to the end. I will add another little.
By the way,
How's
before
guys?
you get all your health back at long rest, and then you get half of the spent hit dice back, or half your maximum hit die back, rather. Before we had taken a long rest, just for a roleplay thing.
Yeah.
Fergis goes to the top of the tower by himself, the one that was like watchtower.
Yeah.
And he uses whatever combination of these tools or whatever he has to like kind of like carve a thing into the side on the top.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a carving of a tea leaf.
Cool.
If you even remember what that's for, but yeah.
I
Go to my bio and then go down to other contacts.
I had a feeling it was something. It's just a lot of information.
Yeah.
Beside it, Thrum carves and Thrum too.
Well, no one knows I'm doing this.
Yeah.
This is like a roleplay thing for just to keep it like a flavorful of a character thing.
Yep, I got it. Thank you for reminding me.
Yep. But that's just what he would do before he went to bed, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no problem. I'm not going to make you roll for anything like that.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect artmanship or anything.
Yeah. I mean, the age-old rule that I know some people forget, but I live about with tabletop RPGs is that skill rolls are if there is a chance or penalty for failure. If there is literally no penalty for you not drawing a good picture, then don't roll.
Yeah.
You just do it. All right. So the next morning, question mark. You're all rested. You're recovered.
Shall we go deal with the kobolds then, Nolgrim?
Give me a little bit, and he'll start ritually casting comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm.
I know Undercommon, but I'm not sure if the kobolds will.
I just playing it safe.
Is that that spell exclusive to you, or can you do it for me as well?
Touch actually, so I'll put
Is
it
it
on
concentration though?
you. Doesn't look like it. No.
Not.
Well, actually, let me see. I don't have that filled out, so.
Pretty
I
sure,
can look that up.
but I could be wrong.
Comprehend languages.
It also depends on how long it takes.
Nope, not concentration, just 1
Yeah.
hour duration.
Most of those purely roleplay spells aren't concentration.
Okay, so that way we can both be able to speak to them.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and start making our way down to the basement.
Also, don't forget to be tracking food for the new day as well. I know we've got a few sessions without doing that, but
Yep.
this is
Part of me does.
more than fine.
Part of me does wonder what two dwarves speaking kobold sounds like.
That is the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's comprehend languages.
Yeah, it won't allow us to speak Kobold, but allow us to
Yeah.
understand
Oh,
them.
it only allow you to understand them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can understand and read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they don't speak Undercommon, we're kind of fucked in communicating to them.
Mhm.
But they probably understand Elvish as well, given their status.
Yeah, I doubt the Drow will lower themselves to speaking Drow or speaking Kobold.
Yeah. You descend the ladder back to the basement. I assume you're just going to use the get someone to operate the pulley lift to lower you down the 40 feet to the
Mhm. Suppose I'll do that for him.
Yeah, because someone has to be at the top. There's no like internal function. It's not hard to see the kobolds, but they're definitely like, as they see you, they're fearfully like scampering back to try to keep a minimum of like 40 feet of distance from you.
Nolgrim would have brought some extra meat and food with him and just kind of set it out ahead.
And I would keep my
as a
hands
peace offering.
upraised.
Mhm.
And I would repeat in Undercommon, Elvish, and Dwarvish, and Common for good measure of all four. We mean no harm, and see if any of it registers to them.
And
Okay.
Go.
Yeah.
if they don't respond to any of that, Nolgrim will try Undercommon.
Well, I said that too because I.
Oh, you
said that
did
as
it?
well.
Okay.
They start murmuring amongst themselves a little bit. You can guys give me a perception to see if you can hear what they're murmuring to each other. You can understand it because of the language, but
Yeah.
okay.
But large crowd of low voices.
Yeah, you can understand it, and it's generally of the gist of that the language just goes strange, weird things, speak many tongues. What want? We're masters.
So can I just do an insights check or something to see if they registered any one of those languages more than the others?
Sure. You get the impression that they recognized the Elvish, but they might not understand all of it clearly. Maybe it's like one of those things that the Drow never actually taught them to understand. But it's like if you yell loud enough and you gesture hard enough, like some people talking to someone who doesn't understand the language do, they eventually get the rough gist of what they're trying to say.
Speak
Or my
louder and slower.
Also,
or my dad talking to someone who looks different.
yeah, unfortunately it's America, so we all know people who do that.
Yeah, even though they may have a PhD.
Mhm.
And they didn't respond to Undercommon at all?
No. Also, now that you guys are closer to them, you see that they are in very rough shape. Their scales are torn and not matted. They got like open sores and welts, and they look rough and beaten. You know, you might have each of you might have very limited experience with kobolds before this, but these are clearly very mistreated. Like there's dents inside on their heads, some as well. Like the eyes are slightly off, so it's like multi-generational beatings.
Out of curiosity, how far was the descent from the platform to the ground?
40 feet.
40 feet. Okay.
So it's too far for a kobold to reasonably get up a sheer cliff wall, but
Yeah.
I just want to say, I've been on trips to Mexico before, and I think the funniest people in the world are the people who hear like the tour guides and people talk in English. They can speak English yet still try to use their crappy Spanish skills.
I love watching that. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I said, yo quiero Taco Bell.
Out of curiosity, no one in the party does speak Draconic, right?
No.
Speak what?
Let me check.
Draconic?
No.
Let me see. Nope. That's just a language I usually take as a spellcaster, but I didn't this time around.
It's good. It's flavorful for a spellcaster for sure.
I think in some settings they say Draconic is the language you shout arcane spell components in.
Mhm.
Because
But I'm flexible.
Right.
So I would just go up to not approach them too close, but just try and take one or two steps, and repeat some words that I think they might know, like drow, if they understand that.
I'm pretty sure in D&D, Draconic is the language spells are done in, but I don't think you need to know Draconic to use spells. I think that's the distinction.
Some people do just because it's flavorful, but
Yeah.
Basically, I'm trying to get across the gist of all of the drow are dead.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage. Kind of wrestling with a language barrier here.
What if would he be able to do a flat roll if I was since I'm there helping him?
In this case, I think it's an individual thing.
Okay.
And if I could have done a single roll, I could have got a nat 20.
most of the disadvantage is the language barrier, so having more people yell and gesture is not going to mitigate that.
That's fair.
If anything, it would make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still pretty fearful. It's like it's really poignant. Like you take one step forward and the entire crowd like shuffles back.
How's it going down there?
Not well. They don't understand a word of us.
Right, I think I know something they will understand. Give me a minute. Then I'm gonna go find the
All of a
nearest
sudden,
drow
body-
corpse and
He
All of a
comes
sudden,
back.
the body slumps. Yep.
oh, just the head. Much later.
He comes back with a whip.
Comes back with a hose. All right, clear out. I'm flooding the cavern with the neurotoxin now.
Where'd we get neurotoxin?
Or the mild narcotic.
So
Listen,
I imagine a head comes flying down the hole
Mhm.
after a few minutes.
Mhm.
And I just hold it up by its hair and show it to the kobolds, and I just kind of like shout, "You're free."
Give me another persuasion at disadvantage. Wow, not bad.
Well, I mean, I have a +9. I would hope I would get some chance of rolling good.
Yeah. More murmuring amongst them in Draconic. They're like, Master's killed dead? Oh, my Masters, what we do? And there's definitely, like, they're understanding your point, but they're still kind of at a loss of what to do with themselves now. They do seem more concerned with this revelation than being afraid of you now.
Well, they don't know what to do with their lives. I guess our only choice is to insert ourselves as their gods.
I'm gonna try to persuade whoever looks like whatever kobold looks the bravest
Mhm.
to see if I can get them to come over to us.
Mhm.
Like any of them that like if I'm like listening in, if any of them seem like they seem to be having a more like brave front than the rest of them or something when they're talking.
Yeah. I'll say this one's a flat persuasion.
Don't empower these people. We've already been over democracy.
Yeah. You beckon, and eventually the small crowd shoves one kobold forward. He's got like lacerations across his chest and a lazy eye,
Mm-hmm.
and he slowly scampers forward about like 10 feet away from you.
Okay. Just for flavor's sake, I say that I would that blue healing mushroom.
Mhm.
I say like I give it to him and kind of make a whatever kind of showing I could to make it say like it helps with the like helps you
Mhm.
kind of thing, and I kind of lead him kind of try to help him lead him towards the lift. I basically want him to come with us to show him how to work it.
Mhm.
So we can get him to go back down, grab another kobold, so they can let themselves up, essentially.
Okay. This will be another persuasion at disadvantage, but if you win this one, you might cinch this thing.
Nope.
Ooh, no. You make the fatal mistake of trying to reach out and touch him. And that sends him to like a full panic as he runs back to the crowd, and they all start withdrawing farther. Nolgrim, you're proficient in knowledge history, right?
Yes, I am.
Give me a knowledge history real quick.
All right. Knowledge history.
Or just history, I guess. This isn't Pathfinder. Never mind. Nothing interests you at this moment.
Yep.
Even if I wasn't honoring natural ones, 8 is not high enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we go back, and what I would do is, since we can't convince him to come with us, I would say that we would just lower the pulley lift, and as we're lowering it, I can tie some knots with some other rope to kind of give them handholds to climb up themselves when we leave.
Yeah, that was the way I was leaning too. We could just leave some ropes for them.
Ivy slunk down at some point in this conversation, as stealthy as she is,
Mhm.
and she gestures some of the heavy iron cages. She goes, "We can always just push some of those over the edge, create like some stairs."
We need some Dammerhall brochures to leave them.
40 feet worth of stairs, though?
It was her idea. It didn't say it was a good idea.
They've got water and fish and mushrooms
Taking out
down here. What
turn
else
those
do they need?
cages into a ladder.
Yeah, they got food and everything, and
I would
we
say
could-
the food we don't take with us, we could just put on the platform, lower it, and send the ropes down with it.
You guys are guessing this is where they're getting their cave fish and mushroom. Is they're literally a slave farm. They
Yeah.
are sitting on the food supply.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, they can feed themselves, but we do want to give them the option of being able to get out of here.
Mm.
Do we?
And I mean, I imagine so. Especially if we want to use this in the future, we don't really want to have a slave community of kobolds below.
Right.
Somebody's got to farm the land. That means they
Anyway.
eat what they farm for now.
Listen, they're not slaves. They're prisoners with jobs. And the people that we have walking the fields with whips are just there to encourage efficiency.
See, he knows what I'm talking about.
So anyway, as we're getting all of our stuff ready to leave and stuff, I'll just spend the time to make like a very rudimentary like rope, like with the knots to kind of make it like a makeshift rope ladder with a single rope.
Yeah.
That way they can have handholds so it's easier for them to climb and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or, again, I could take an hour and turn those cages into ladders with the...
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you can do that.
Yeah.
I think you said something a second ago and I completely spaced.
Yeah, you could definitely turn one of those cages into a 40-foot ladder.
I mean, go nuts with your magical Momo Jumbo.
Yeah, so you can do all the above or none of the above or whatever you want to do. But you set that up.
And I don't know what else we're going to be doing here before we try to make the plunge as it is. We still need to decide on Eski, but I'm leaving that to Thrum.
I think she'd be safe down here in this little farm area.
Leave him
Leave her with the kobolds.
Leave him with the kobolds and let them idolize him.
Yeah, we'll leave her down there. She can graze on the mushrooms. If they find their ways out, she'll still be fine.
So
The fact of the matter is, we've got more food than we can carry right now.
Yeah, they're going to eat her.
So you're gonna bring Eski through into the castle or into the fort,
Lower her down into a tomb of death.
and then take her down to the basement. Is what the plan is, right?
Do y'all have any better idea? Out of character, I really don't. If we kill her right now, we could like have a feast and let the kobolds share.
I mean, we can take her back down with us as we're
See,
going.
the problem is if we kill her and have the feast, I'm pretty sure we won't survive the night.
Why?
Somebody gets a bit
something
nightly.
gnome.
Technically, freaking Thrum already pre-gamed this with a natural 20 persuasion. Priming.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
don't
one
worry
thing
about
to say this time to put her down. It's another thing to put her down and serve her up on a spit.
You definitely haven't grown up on a farm.
And I'm guessing that
It's standard procedure for most farm kids that they raise a pig and then their parent makes them kill it, cook it, and eat it.
but I wasn't aware that Ivy had that upbringing.
The betrayal
It's
makes
not-
it extra
I'm just
delicious.
saying it's.
Gotta learn her some point.
Yeah, the
Well-
betrayal does make it delicious.
But are you going to do the lower or down plan? Is what I'm asking. Is that the current prevailing thing?
No,
I'm leaving it to Thrum's ideas.
It seems like it'd be a really big hassle, because I imagine that crane is only good for like one medium-sized creature at a time.
Okay, I was going to turn this into a joke, but I'll bring this up real quick as a GM, not as a character. So there's a one-person-sized hatch before a 20-foot ladder tunnel. How are you
Yeah.
fitting a
That
cow down
was
that?
going to be a
Yeah.
curiosity of mine. But we got sheer determination and strength.
The only way to do it is if you did cut her up into more pieces.
And then lower her down?
Quickly, does anyone know reduce person?
No.
Nope.
I mean, we really don't need her, and she's really not useful going forward. So I think one of the nights we're going to stay here, Thrum will go out and say goodnight to her and give her a pile of mushrooms to eat. And while she's eating them, he'll do the deed and spend the night butchering her, and then bring the parts in, find barrels, use the salt he has, and salt away the meat.
All right. Could you take whatever weapon you're going to use for this Thrum and give me a damage roll, not an attack roll, a damage roll?
These things are hardy as
Do
fuck.
they have a coup de grace in?
Just roll the damage. Go.
All right.
I'm upstairs practicing my alchemy kit while this is happening.
Yep, he would at least. Will you let him go big?
No.
Okay.
Because would you go big to do this?
Yeah, to get a good clean chop on her.
Of course he'd go big, because he doesn't want to go home.
Go big.
Ah,
Very well. Very well.
Uh,
But probably not raging. I'm not going to let you do that. Okay.
well, that was the
attack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Roll damage then.
Oh, same. 12.
Yeah, same. So, you guys are inside the fort. You hear a loud, pained animal yell that does not instantly kill the yak and only got half of its hit point.
Yeah, I
And it's
should have
just
thought
got
about her
this
hit points.
terrible gash on its neck. Hit it again, Co.
And thus did you wish for the silence of the lambs.
You probably just hit the word battle axe again and it'll roll damage again.
Yeah, you can just hit the world battle axe again.
Right. 16.
That one got it. So, Fergus, you're like practicing alchemy, and you hear a terrible sound that makes you squirm for a second, and then you hear a, and it goes quiet.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
And just to let you in on the movie, that is the silence of the lambs.
Mm-hmm. Not Freya. Ivy comes out of the alchemist storage room. To you, Freya. She goes, "What was that sound? Was that you?"
I don't know. I think it's Thrum. I think he's kind of constipated, and I don't really want to pry.
I'll go back in here then. Out of character, it's very sweet how concerned you guys are with her feelings.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a dead Esky.
And I'd be lying if a part of that fear wasn't fear of or part of that sensitivity was because of a fear of retribution too.
Let's see how many sneak attacks I can get before you stand up.
See,
Yeah.
she has plenty of drow poison. It won't take that much.
Mm-mm.
So let's see.
So how many days are we going to be at the keep, guys?
Up to you.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up to the group because I can start getting some training into this alchemy thing. But I don't know how long we're going to want to keep the Skizrael here. And
I wouldn't mind a few days just to. I mean, I imagine in character he'd want a bit of a breather after spending so much time wandering and fighting.
And probably at least a little bit of time to get the. Well, we're going to need a few days to mount up the scorpion to the front of the wagon anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like saddle and harness them or whatever.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah, well-
Thrum, could you also give me a survival to harvest meat from Esky?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm only 5 days away from mastering jeweler's tools, but
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if
I still have a
5
good
days.
20. I still have like a good 20+ days.
So, but I don't know if we'd want to wait 5 days because that might be a bit much for you guys.
I mean,
Otherwise,
it's
Nolgrim won't be opposed to it.
up to you.
I mean,
Um,
we have plenty of food to last us and keep our stores up to max. So
Yeah, we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, and it could give you more time to work on, or us to work on, putting the kobolds at ease.
plus we have plenty of meat.
And I imagine it's going to take a bit of time to cure 440 pounds of meat.
So
if you
here's
take-
the question: were we wanting to mount up all of the scorpions that we have, which I think is just 2 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it takes both of them because they're not pack animals or
Yep.
beasts
Oh,
of burden,
okay.
so it takes both of them to pull the wagon.
But they're a lot easier to feed than Esky was.
Yeah, they're going to be able to eat meat, which it's so much easier. We just killed Esky and got 440 pounds of meat. When we forage, we would usually get between 4 and 12 pounds of mushrooms. So,
And, that would also give Cope give Thrum some time to train the scorpions a bit more.
yeah.
And not to be morbid, if we run into humanoids that we don't have qualms about feeding to scorpions, that also is a source of food for them.
Yeah, they can always eat the spoils.
So this is how we're going to do it. You guys just tell me how many days you're going to linger here, and I'll just update the day tracker, and we'll just say that time has passed. We don't need to go day by day or anything
Yeah,
unnecessary
Let's
like
go ahead
that.
and hit 5 or whatever you need. Y'all.
Yep, 5 works for me.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be doing my alchemy studies, and Thrum, hopefully without getting too much poison in his body, will be training the scorpions.
Yeah, let's go dance with scorpions.
I would say probably by the end of that 5 days, you could, even if they're still moody about it, get them to vaguely pull the wagon. You're kind of doing at this point where you're not able to guide them like you could Esky, but you have like a long rod that you dangle some meat out in front of them, and that gets them moving.
Yeah, and I imagine it's easier or different, but Esky couldn't see, so I had to guide her
Yeah.
by the muzzle.
The bit,
But
yeah.
yeah, they've got a way. Yeah, carrot and a stick.
I imagine we put something around their poison stinger so they don't accidentally sting us. Like some kind of wrapping around it.
Yeah, we don't need them to help us fight, so we're definitely gonna.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of silk in the void from like the consort chambers and stuff like that. If you want.
Hell,
Six.
if we could find a way to knock one of these out, we could just take off their stinger. Like just cut that shit off. Although they are insects, so they might regrow them.
Yeah, I would say just wrap them, and then if we have a way to bind their pincers to not open too wide, but we don't really need to worry too much about that as much. It's mostly just the poison I'm worried about.
Yeah, let them keep their pinchers. They need to be able to eat and defend themselves, I think.
Well, and we also have a smith in the party that could probably hammer out a protective cover for the stinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have 5 days, so whatever plan you guys settle on, you can just do it. You guys have enough resources, enough time, and enough skill to make.
Yeah, plenty of scrap drow stuff to convert into covers.
All
now,
right.
instead
Over
of doing
the coast.
poison damage, their little stingers do 2 hit points of bludgeoning damage.
And over the course of those 5 days, Nolgrim would be periodically, throwing out shatter to clear out the spiky courtyard.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I imagine since it's a 20-foot diameter area, he'd be able to do a pretty good chunk of it over the course of those 5 days.
You probably got it done in the first 2 days tops, because it's like you do shatter twice, and then you take an hour short rest, and then you
Yeah.
shatter again. That was
Yeah.
probably all you need. It was like a 15 by 35-foot area. So
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, in another couple days, I'll make another set of statues of dwarves, kobolds, and Siskra and Zan in the courtyard.
Gnomes.
kind of-
Don't forget the gnomes.
Yeah, sure. They didn't really do much for this, but they've done stuff, yes.
Well, I'd say they've done just about as much as the kobold,
Mm.
if not more so. Nolgrim
Should
will look
we
over
really
at,
look at the kobold?
not Ivy.
yeah, what am I? Chop
I
liver.
Honorary dwarf.
I just assumed that they figured you were an honorary dwarf at this point.
It's both sweet and vaguely insulting. I don't know how to feel about that.
Here, taste this.
Oh God, no! Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty good. What is it?
Ivy, do you have any older relatives?
Chopped liver.
No. Orphan.
Yeah, that explains it.
All right. So on day 176 of the expedition,
Wow.
you guys.
Oh, how many days do I need to mark off?
You said 5, and
Okay.
then you took 1 day after the encounter, so it's been 6 days total you've been here.
though we probably will need to tap into our food reserve since there's so much here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you
We'll
still have to
probably do a fair bit
subtract it
behind.
from
Yeah,
what's there.
I'll top us off before we leave. I just get it right for what's in the tower.
Again, before we leave, we would have made sure to tie off a bunch of ropes hanging down into the cobalt pit, just so should they feel bold enough to wander out, then they're able to do so, and doors wide open behind them.
Curious if any have tried to poke their head out.
Not as of yet.
Should we let are we gonna let the Skizrael know about the place being empty and
Yeah.
give the option open for whoever wants to come in here, like whether it be the Zan, them, or like the gnomes?
The
I mean,
two
yeah,
hunters
I
say
imagine.
they'll bring word back to the White Widow, and they'll address it then. Yeah, that the Zan and the Skizral and the gnomes of Vostenstad kind of have an alliance.
And,
At least that way there's some back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
and Nolgrim would try to encourage them to, at least provide a decent way of life for the kobolds down there, if they could ever recover. They've been through hell,
At the-
looks like.
At the very least, let them go free and roam.
Open fields, send them to a farm upstate.
Yeah.
Foolish Richard, don't you know this is what the farm upstate looks like?
Oh gosh.
What do you think your dog was doing on a farm?
I don't know. Somehow you have to get out of my imagination first.
Okay, so you guys are
Like to
unlocking the magical gate and heading out with your 2 Skizral hunters to the great jumping off point.
You-
All
Like
right.
to think
Turns out there's an elevator the whole time.
a short little scene after she's seen what those kobolds look like, where Taskill's like, "Yeah, that's why we didn't want to leave your kin to the elves."
Yeah, I see that. Guess we did the right thing then. I came around to it. Don't try to take that away from me.
Oh no. No. But now you've seen firsthand what would have happened.
Yeah. Not a lot of good in those ones, are there?
Nope.
While
But
he's sidebarring with her, I would ask Miku. He's like, "You still plan on coming with us, or is this your stopping point?"
Releasing spores as far as you'll let me.
Okay. Just wanted to let him know if he wants to leave now, he could, and continue on.
All
I
right.
wonder if he'll be the first Zan in Dammerhall, not Zammerfall.
I was gonna say he opens up a resort in Dammerhall called Zanzibar.
Love it. We have to get him to Dammerhall.
That is now our motivation.
He's gonna become our bartender. He's literally gonna open the Zanzibar.
Love it. Yep.
It's like our goal makes sense, but our motivation is completely out of whack. Like in JoJo's in part 3, there's a character Polnareff, and he's presented with the option. He believes he can wish for anything in the world, and his one wish is not to find Dio or to stop his friend's mom from dying. It's to create a theme park called Polnareff Land.
I remember that. I just got into the season after that, by the way. I still need to continue on with it.
You know, looking back on that, was that before or after they found the guy he believed kills his sister?
That was after. It was after.
Okay, so there's that at least.
Yeah. And he does also wish. He gets 3 wishes. He does also wish for his sister to come back to life. That backfires, but he does wish for it.
Before they go,
there's spices. I hit A instead of
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's like seasonings.
I thought it was
that's what I figured.
Yeah, I didn't say anything because I just figured it was a misprint.
Yeah. Listen, I typed this all up yesterday while glancing at the work computer, making sure no one wanted me to do anything.
No one's allowed to make typing errors.
So the morning that they're planning on going, Nolgrim would go to Thrum and. Oh.
Sorry, should have muted.
Would you mind doing a quick check to see if you could sense any drow in the area? I'm curious what happened to that one last that's been keeping not fodder from us.
I got a bit of drow dust there. I apologize. Let me go over here and check. And he'll go.
Speaking of, I guess
He's gonna go blow his nose first. I'll tell you that.
I imagine at some point we probably made at least a cursory effort to clean up the viscera.
I mean, if that's what you wanted to do, you could just leave
We
it all
would've at
there.
least- I was gonna say we at least pile the bodies outside. So
I don't know. Would the Skithra have done a lot of it? Just
I mean,
doing
they
what
don't
they
remove.
want.
They don't eat the bits. They just drink
Yeah.
the juices out of the remaining.
Nolgrim probably would have.
hey,
made
it makes
an
the bodies
effort to-
lighter that way.
Mhm.
Nolgrim.
Oh god, do we have Fat Skizerel working for us now?
No.
just have the steel defender. Just carry him around. Clean up duty.
It's like 80 bodies.
Nolgrim would be very much torn. He wouldn't want to leave him there, but he doesn't feel a funeral pyre is something that he's prone to do for drow.
No, that's
at
the
least.
perfect image right there. It's just 1.5 of the days is just constant thunk, 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 thunk. As the steel
Honestly-
defender drags them down, and their head hits every stair.
Yeah.
In that
Yeah,
5
and he
days,
just drags them down to the gatehouse and then just lets them fall into the crevasse.
yeah,
that
I was gonna say
actually
just
sounds
drop them
pretty
into
solid.
the pit. I was just about to say that before you said something, Coop.
And you throw the cobalt paste in there as well, I assume.
Yes.
There we go. Now in the video game version of our D&D adventure, the loading screen, the little symbol in the corner will be the steel defender. Dragging-
The pulp.
That is so morbid. I love it.
So he has a fresh coat of paint by the end of this whole time.
And I think we made that.
Well, you know what they say: the red ones are faster.
I think we officially made that pit a non-lethal fall, given the amount of padding at the bottom for at least the first little while.
Oh god, the biggest mushroom ever is going to grow out of there.
I don't know. Broken bones and ribs are pretty jagged.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, so the first day after you leave the fortress, you're just going your way through Bear Tunnel yet again. No sight of the great jumping off point as of yet. So that's one day if you're keeping track of food.
All right, well, let me stop right there so that I can edit for what we had left before we filled back up. And
Absolutely.
yep, take a second for math. And flip this over here.
We're like overloaded with food in our cart at this point, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's the bag is full, and the cart we've got room for 11 more bulk. I don't have any food in the cart. I have all the food in the bag. Because doesn't it not spoil in the bag?
Yeah.
No, it can
does.
still spoil, I thought.
Yeah, no, it can still spoil, but you've been treating it, which I assume you did over the 5 days. Which probably made for a really weird mix of smells. decaying drow corpses and fresh cooked beef.
And vomit from too much brandy. Looks at us. Looks at Ivy.
I don't know.
Alright.
Thrum strikes me as the type of guy that cooks bacon naked so it doesn't get on his shirt.
Let me correct you. Let me correct you, Cope. Vomit from the right amount of brandy.
Also, I'm pretty sure that one bottle of brandy was gone after the first night.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm keeping the other bottle.
Yeah.
But there was like
I didn't
100
put
bottles
either.
of wine as well.
Yeah, tons of wine.
I didn't put either of the brandies on our loot. I figured we polished off the first bottle and you hid the second bottle. So
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I think I missed it. On the day before I left, did he ping off any drow presences?
No, there was none.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're done updating, Cope.
yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
No worries. All right. So that was day 76. So then on the next day, dang it, hold on. Had it waiting too long. Need to redo it. You finally reach your destination.
Holy crap, that was nice.
The great jumping off point. Yeah, I just revealed
We
those.
found Dammerhall.
It's- you reach the great jumping off point. It's a large, wide, almost circular natural cavern. The ceiling is not too terribly far up, maybe 30 feet over your head. Taller than most of the tunnels, but not too far as the crow flies. But it's such an expansive, wide space. And in the exact center of it is a colossal vertical shaft that is so wide, not even Ivy's dark vision can see the other side of it. Looking down, you can see with just a little bit that the tunnel going down is not smooth. There is lots of ridges and alcoves with stalactites in them, seeming to go all the way down beyond your vision.
Hey, that's a hole. Hey. Yeah, it's a good thing we got these Skizrael here to help us.
Part of me is still partial to finding a bat and riding it down.
Nolgrim's little albino bat will flutter. Good luck.
But did it just speak?
No, that was me.
I don't think she's going to carry me far, but let's go.
Bloody hell, I actually went for it.
No, it's simple physics. If I punch the ground at an equal force to my falling speed, it'll cancel it out.
Nah, that's trying too hard. All you have to do is dodge the ground.
Throw yourself to the ground and miss.
One of the Skizrael goes up one of the walls and crawls onto the ceiling and starts making its way towards one of the middle points above the pit. And the other one speaks to you and says, "We will get to work right away to begin fastening a web that will lower you and your wagon down. The issue will be we don't know exactly how far it goes down. So it would most likely be safest if you all rode in the wagon. But it's currently fully loaded. So unless you remove some supplies that we can then lower down separately, you might not be able to fit all of you in the wagon at one time."
Give me a few minutes to rearrange here. And what he's going to do is he is going to take 100 pounds of meat out of the wagon. Out of the bag, and put the gear into the bag since it'll be less bulky.
Yeah.
And the food is in barrels, so it's much more self-contained than like alchemist supplies and shit like that are rummaging around. So I'll drop our I'm just going to make a note of that in case something happens.
Yeah, between moving the supplies around and the Skizral getting set up, you guys are going to have to spend the rest of this day here before you can begin descending. Talking out with the Skizral, since you are lowering it down, you could use the bottom of the wagon as well. So, like for your Steel Defender, Freya, they can just web it to the bottom. So that won't be an issue for you.
Cool.
I just imagine his feet dangling helplessly. Is that where the scorpions are going to be too, then?
Its feet moving the whole time?
Yes, like he's trying to swim in the air.
They are going to have to lower down the scorpions separately. They're going to lower you down all at once, but you'll be on separate strands of web.
Gotcha.
How many doses ballpark is 400 gold pieces of mild narcotic?
One.
I would say
One
I would
really
say-
big one.
That is not mild.
I would say like 25.
Okay.
Depends on who you're trying to sell it to.
Alrighty. Can we go with 8 just to make them each worth 50 gold pieces or something?
Sure, I'm fine with giving you less.
Oh, I thought you said 5.
I said 25
Oh, okay.
because they're small recreational doses, not like I'm a kill a person.
Yep. 25.
I don't know. It might take a lot to get a drow high.
Yeah, and I was thinking if we need to like put the scorpions to sleep or something.
Well, that you definitely wouldn't use that. They're most likely stimulants, not downers.
Oh, I the drug's not no good.
Do you know that a drow is so desensitized they will not even get slightly buzzed until their body is at least 30% cocaine by volume?
I was gonna say we found the narcotics and they have a drow label on them that says mild. That's mild for a drow.
I can't feel my face. I mean, I can feel my face, but I can't feel my face.
Well, I have to say, my mouth feels like a spaceship. All right, so another day passes as you guys are getting settled. So you're completely emptying the wagon, and they're lowering down the food. Exactly what are you having separate to be lowered?
So what is separate is, say, 3 barrels with 100 bulk of food.
Okay.
All of our other loot and other food is in the bag of holding. And I think they told us all to get in the wagon, right?
Yep.
So they're lowering 3 barrels of food.
And scorpions.
And scorpions. And wagon containing 5 drawers.
I'm going to make sure my weave cloak is on just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. What does that thing do?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I gotta open up this magical items things.
It can function as a safety net to hold taut between 2 creatures. So if we start falling, it's better than
Still not a
nothing.
parachute.
No, but it's still better than nothing.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I got spider climb and I could save myself and possibly one other.
I'm standing next to Nolgrim.
By the way, in that course of time since we've been at the Bothus, did we determine what the whip does with the gem that was in it?
Oh,
That
that
was a
gem.
magical focus, right?
Yeah, it acts as magical focus. It's
Oh, yeah.
otherwise a mundane whip. That lightning damage she did was coming from her, not
Yeah.
the weapon itself.
Okay.
Okay, so on day 79, you guys all pile in. They've fastened a bunch of webs to the wagon. And the Skizral will inform you that basically what they're going to do is, because they're not certain of the exact dimensions of the tunnel, because once you descend past their dark vision, they're not going to be able to see you anymore. So they're just going to be blind lowering you down there. So they have set it up so that way they will push the wagon with you and all your supplies off, and they're going to swing you out close to the center of the tunnel, and then they're going to have to lower you that way. Otherwise, if the natural cavern juts inward or something like that, they run the risk of lowering you down, cockeyed onto a wall, and you all taking a tumble.
Aye. And here the fate of Dammerhall lies in the hands of a couple of spider folk that we met in the Underdark.
Don't say something racist.
Meanwhile, I'm just tying myself to the wagon with a rope just in case it jostles too much.
During that day of downtime, Nolgrim would have taken a quick stroll along the cliff edge and see if he could find any way that the drow overtly made their way up.
You do not see any overt way they made their way up.
Okay.
You do notice from inspecting that as I said, it's not like perfectly smooth. There's lots of handholds and like full-on mini cave crevices you could form like a camp in. That it would be really hard and taxing, but it is possible to climb up and down this thing. It's not just like a sheer cliff.
Yeah, Nolgrim just doesn't see a diplomat making the climb.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. Anyways, back onto the lowering.
So you all pile into the wagon. It's a little bit uncomfortable because like there's the two front seats and then there's the back section, but even with Miku and everything like that, you all kind of have to be almost like on top of each other.
Cuddle buddies.
And then you have, depending on what you guys feel like, possibly the most terrifying experience on your adventure so far, as one of the spiders pushes the wagon, which rolls on its wheels, over the edge, and it's got webs fastened to it, and it swings like a pendulum out towards the center over this abyss. And then you feel the momentum shift as it swings back the other way, and it goes back and forth until it eventually settles to be roughly level in the pseudo center of this tunnel. And then the Skizral above you calls down and says, "We will begin lowering you now.
Father Mount, we're just starting.
Best of luck on your quest."
New plan, vote this theme park. Survive the great jumping off point.
You begin feeling yourself slowly descend as they are outputting some webs and giving you slack.
Nolgrim is going to pass. Thrum is going to pass one healing potion to everyone. So put that in your inventory.
Or better out, just keep it in your hands. Open preferably.
Yeah, maybe just hold it. I don't know.
I don't know if that'll make the difference, yeah. But then he just kind of goes back to the long prayer to the gods and ancestors. Because dwarves don't like to fly.
No, and it feels like we're flying in a boat. It's like double trouble. Reminds me of a story that I heard. It was a gentleman, I think from Kazakhstan. He's just going to go on, and he's basically talking to drown out what is going on.
Nolgrim would comment a couple minutes into the lowering. What would have happened had we not made allies of the Skizral? I do not even know where to begin on how we would have made it down.
Probably climbed.
Well, I have a couple of blueprints, but I might want to surprise you with them later.
Honestly, half of us would probably have died climbing down, but, Meanwhile, Fergus is actually the only one looking out the window.
There's a window?
Over
Not
the
the
side.
window, like over the side of the wagon.
Yeah. Depending on your stomach, after like 10 minutes or so, it becomes very not fun to do that. Because you see, your dark vision only goes out to 60 feet. Ivy's goes out to 120. Neither of you is far enough to see the side. And after a couple minutes, you lose sight of the ceiling and you can't see the ground below you. All you see is the webs going up into the black nothing above you as you descend through a dark, soundless, featureless void.
So if you
Of
can't see
nothing.
the walls, this is just like floating through space.
It is, yes.
Guys, how crazy would it be if I just cut the web right now? No, I'm
Ivy,
kidding.
what if we just start like rocking back and forth?
You
No,
two
I-
better sit down or I'm going to throw you over.
The only
I
thing
would stick my head back in after a while.
the only thing that gives you any sort of dimension of space is at slightly different heights around you. You see your removed foodstuffs in their separate containers in web bundles being lowered down, and I assume you drugged them with like drow poison or something like that. The two unconscious giant scorpions also being lowered down.
Yeah, I'll say we did 4 doses on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I can't imagine they'd be going down willingly. And last thing we need is something literally rocking the boat.
No.
At least any more so than the doggy paddling underneath.
It's a very slow waddle. I mean.
It's like a happy tongue out the mouth.
It probably has like its legs fold up into it, and it's in the exact center near the axle. It's probably more weight balanced than you guys are right
Fair
now,
point.
because it's a machine, so it's perfectly still.
Especially with these clowns dancing around.
So yeah, you're being lowered down. So roughly 2 hours pass.
Anyone want to play
Alright.
some dice?
No, he's going to pass out. Thrum's going to pass out some tobacco and say, "A wise man once told me, smoke 'em if you got 'em."
I'll
Well, we have
smoke
drugs.
and, do dice. I do not know about doing drugs in this particular situation.
Well, he said smoke him if you got him. I was just offering it to him.
We just hear the creak of the wagon
Oh.
hang in the air.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to need a bathroom break after this.
2 hours later.
What do you think it would sound like if I thunderclapped right now?
Ivy, probably a nightmare.
I imagine a lot of screaming.
Also, that would hurt.
Yep.
Let's not do that. Anything that would unsettle our friends up top would be bad.
Okay, I would. Hold on a second. If we're playing dice, I'm going to do a dexterity roll. Okay. I was going to say if it was too low, it probably would have sent a dice or two over the edge. Well,
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Freya. You can't reach the edge.
Although I do think. Oh, I just clicked it. I was meaning to look at it separately out of the chat, but the duration is concentration up to an hour.
Yep.
So, not bad at all. Still
Too bad we're 2
fall to
hours
the bottom
into
of this
this.
thing halfway down, but last up to an hour.
Yeah.
And it made it halfway, which was less than I expected.
Is it in the book? Is it 2 hours so that you specifically can't use spider climb coming down?
No, because this is Pathfinder versus 5th edition.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going on the fact that you are lowering, but it's not like an express elevator.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the fastest descent in the world.
I mean, it is ropes coming out of their butts.
Yeah, basically. So Ivy is on one of the front seats because she can see slightly farther than all of you. So she's looking around, and she every so often musters up the courage to look down. And at some point, she goes, "So, good news, bad news. Good news
Good
is
first.
I see something."
Which
Bad
brings us
news
into
is
the bad
Yep.
news.
It's not the bottom. It looks like a large bend in the tunnel, and that if we don't swing the wagon a different way, we'll hit it.
Does it look like we can land on it slowly with the wheels to just kind of roll over it?
Not without risking us getting stuck.
So help me visualize what we're talking about here. When Ivy says a bend in the tunnel.
Let me do this real quick.
2D sideways map.
Yeah, I'm not showing you all of this, but I will show you this now. Hold on a second. I didn't prepare it, so I'm putting it in Slack real quick.
Sure.
Oh,
Is this a good time for bio?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Because I wasn't kidding. This anxiety made me have to pee. It's like playing hide and go seek. I don't know what's going to happen. Now I've got to pee.
Here we go. Yeah. So if you look at here, that's the lip up at the top, and down at the bottom, you see how it kind of narrows and moves to the side like that. That's what you're approaching in on.
Where are we looking at?
Yes, Skype.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get this ready. I also said Slack, which is what I use at work, so that was wrong terminology.
So we need to push it.
Yeah, we need to start doing that rocking back and forth motion and start getting it.
Well,
going.
if that's accurate, there's no way the skiz just lowering us can get us down any further than that lip.
Well, if we're hanging from like a string, right?
Yeah, it could
It would
probably
just be kind of angled. Like we could probably make it to the bottom. From
Yeah.
what I know.
The good news
Like our
is
wheels would be rolling on the wall though after a certain point.
the good news is that you guys are being lowered down on spider silk and not rope. Spider silk is really, really durable and does not get torn by edges easily at all. So
Oh yeah, we are going to be dragging right up against that wall, but
So what all
So
did
it
we leave
doesn't-
behind?
look like it's much further down.
Okay, so was there stuff we left at the top for them to lower down later?
no, they're lowering down your in fact, why don't I just show you guys this to get a feeling for what this looks like? One second. You guys should be on the new map now.
Yep.
I use dynamic lighting so you can actually see how far you see.
Ooh.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact,
Mhm.
the rule book just said it was Descent into Darkness. They didn't outline how I was reading this. I'm like, this is objectively terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like, even if you're used to being underground, this is like, I do not feel safe in this situation at all.
Well, looks like we're forced to swing.
Well, we also have to get our other stuff swinging too.
Well,
Because our wagon swing, does the rest of the stuff swing with us?
the benefit to that is at least if like one of these I forget if they're a chest or a barrel, but one of your things containing food, at least it doesn't matter if they upend like you do. Like if the cart turns over and you guys fall, that's it.
We're playing another game.
But I'm just more concerned about the scorpions. Like, do we need to get them swinging too? Is the question.
Crap. I just got back. When you try to jump to one of the barrels, if you hit the jump button twice while you're in the air, do you get a double jump?
Would the scorpions not have the ability to scale these walls?
Let me check. Actually, I don't think they have spider climb as
We've knocked them out.
Yeah, they are unconscious with drugs.
Oh well, never mind.
I have a grappling hook if we need to get them
I
swinging
don't think
too.
a
but-
wild animal would willfully agree to this.
No.
And for that cope, only elves get double jump without a feat.
That's true. I've got a grappling hook too.
I just figured that we had gotten them to where we could like move them around, so we could just use the same method vertically. But I don't know.
Well, and this is Ivy talking. It would be pretty easy just to like throw something, and we can just tug on one of those strands over there to swing something out of the way. It's more of us that I think we need to worry about. We're
Thrum.
also about 90 feet away from this, so we should probably start thinking about it.
Thrum
Yeah.
pulls out that whip and says, "Who's good with one of these?" Oh wait, I am.
Also, yeah, we should probably start rocking this boat.
Nolgrim will start trying to rock it. Bloody hell, Freya, what happened to you?
Oh yeah, Michael can upgrade. Fix up his health bar.
Yeah. I would suggest we do the thing where we all move this direction, and as soon as it starts rocking a little bit, we go the next direction, and kind of keep in tandem to kind of.
Is that the way we need to
Momentum.
swing?
Well, we're trying to get more leverage this way,
Okay.
so we want to start with this way, I would think.
And get your grappling hook ready. So if we see the wall over there, you could reach out and throw it at the wall.
Yep, I already have it tied to some rope and ready to go. You should probably focus mostly on making sure the scorpions survive this whole trip.
I am gonna get my rope out and see when we swing by the scorpions. I'm gonna try and whip either the whip or a rope around the spider wire to get it to start swinging with us.
Okay.
This one, since we want to go that way.
So let's see. This is how we'll divvy it up. Choose, I'll say 3 people to give me acrobatics to do the swinging, and everyone else can be assisting them to give them advantage. Just to minimize the number of rolls that we have here.
Yeah.
I have a 3 acrobatics.
2 acrobatics.
I've got a 3 as well. I mean,
Ivy has a 5.
I've got a 2.
So me and Ivy, and then someone else, and then
sounds
everyone
like
else assists.
I am the next highest, just by virtue of having a 16 dex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
Thrum's better off holding on to the side and concentrating on roping these thingies.
Well, you're still technically helping, but
Yeah.
you're just giving the help action to give him advantage.
Yeah, he's holding still, just shifting his weight to try and help.
Here is...
Oh, nice.
I actually have something pretty detailed I can do.
Absolutely, yeah. Describe anything. If you have any sort of creative tricks or anything, by all means, let it be known.
Okay, so I got 2. What level is this? Whatever, my max level spell. 2. Second level spell. I have spider climb and web. So here's what I can try to do. We're not really close to any of the cave walls though, so I need to find a way to get to. It's looking, we're kind of in the middle. So if I can find a way to get, I can set up a web connected to our cart, and then I can bring them both in and stick them to the web, and they'll just go with us.
Yeah. If we can get them close to us, that might work.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we're
yeah.
swinging back and forth, we'll be getting pretty close to. at
Yeah,
least
I'll
this
say you'll
one
probably
and
be
to
getting
this
within
one.
10 feet of each one when you're swinging.
Okay.
So I'm not going to move the whole kit and caboodle because that would just be too much effort.
Yeah.
But you can use your mind.
So I rolled for Ivy and me, and I think Taskill rolled.
Yeah.
Taskill, use your hips, man. Really get into it. Dance with the cart. Dance with the cart.
So
Taskill's not a hip hop fan.
the good news is you guys were looking for a cumulative total of 45, which you guys passed in spades. So you're able to swing back and forth in a very nerve-wracking maneuver. Like when the momentum shifts and the back end of the cart goes down, it doesn't feel good.
So yeah, if we're getting within 10 feet of both of these, I think I could just connect web on this side, there, web on this side, there.
Yep. You don't even have to roll for that because that's literally just what the spell does. So you're able to I'll move a little closer. Latch on to both of these scorpions.
Thrum, do you want to try to lasso some of our barrels closer so they don't get lost?
Yep, if we can.
I don't know if I forgot to tell you, but Freya does basically have the powers of Spider-Man now. I took spider, climb, and web.
I mean, they're both very good spells, especially in the
That's a
cave
good place
situation.
to have it.
Hey, and the material component for web is really easy in this current context. It's a bit of spider web. Everything's covered in it right now. All right. So, Thrum, it looks like you're only going to be able to really reach 2 of the barrels. So why don't you give me 2 attack rolls with the whip?
All right. Is whip?
It's a martial, so you're proficient.
Yeah.
So just you flat attack rolls. Yeah, and you're able to whip them both close. Not really like sticking them or tying them to the wagon, because then that might start causing, as they give it more slack, would start causing problems after a while. But you're able to get it set where they don't just clunk onto this giant stone lip that you managed to.
But it's okay if they go over. Each one's just 1 day's worth of food.
Also, keep in mind, Freya is an artificer, so she's literally using like web shooters you saw her making this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, good news, guys. Our rations per day went down. Required.
Oh, there you go.
No Esky.
Now you just feed the scorpions, and there's 2 of them.
Yep. But I had 3 large creatures, and now I just have 2.
All right, so yeah. Let me do a GM roll real quick. Yeah, so you swing back and forth. You're able to get 2 barrels. Because of your guys' very high rolls, you time it just right, where you hear the air go whoosh over the naked stone that looked very jagged right as you go around it, and then it jerks a bit as the web lands on the side of this water slick rock, but then you're descending again. You guys do hear a loud wooden clunk as one of the barrels, I'm going to say this one right here, it does get stuck on the lip, and you lose, let's see, you said 100 pounds of food, so you lost 100 bulk, so you lost 25 bulk worth of food there.
I think I only did 3 barrels, so I think it'd be 33.3.
Also, I could try to lower down what's up there later. I don't know how far this is from the bottom. But
Ivy looks and goes, and it's darkness again.
Fun stuff. Hopefully they don't have a limit on their webs.
Yeah. Do you think I get sore doing this, or?
I mean, do you get sore if you have to go to the bathroom for a really long time? I mean, don't answer that. But
I mean, I always kind of imagine it like spitting, where you're like, you run out of spit eventually. No, okay.
Let's just hope they don't run out.
Nolgrim's going to actually try something. He's going to have his bat fly directly beneath and pop into its vision, and actually not directly, but kind of follow or go to a wall at approximately our level and then start flying down, so I could try to gauge roughly how far is left by using the wall.
Yeah. You have them fly to the wall. It takes a good like 25 seconds for it to reach that, because they actually did provide the width of the top of this as a map, but they didn't give it to me in the book. And all I'll say is that the map was so large I got tired of counting the squares.
Okay.
So,
well,
God.
here's the thing. Let me think about this for just a second. So the barrel got caught on the lip of the cliff edge, right?
Yeah.
We are still being lowered down, and because of our angle, we would be scraping right up against the side of the cliff edge.
well, you see, here's the thing. I didn't show you because you hadn't seen it, but it's not that constant angle. After you get past that lip, it continues to shift farther to the left on that picture again, and it's like an outcropping, but then it goes back to going down after that part.
Freya, it's not much.
Because I was gonna say I could try spider climb up the lip, and then I could try to throw, depending on how heavy these were, try to throw it and stick it onto the same spider web. But I guess it would depend on what point in the descent we're at.
Lass, it's only a day's worth of food. Don't go for it.
Check something quick. So yeah, you send your bat over there. It does eventually find the side. It's the exact same kind of jagged, multiple like little indents and handholds like it was before. It starts flying down a little bit, but then you are suddenly shot back to your own senses as you suddenly hear through the bat's ears a sound of biting and crunching, and your familiar is dead.
Well, shit. Well,
I mean,
good
you can resummon it. It's made of light, but still.
Well, I'll need, I think, 10 gold of incense, which is going to be a little tricky to come across.
You could probably pluck something equivalent from the alchemist supplies, I'd say.
That's fair. That's fair.
Say we've got spices. You can.
Yeah, there's
pick the right
something.
ones and-
I mean, what is incense but a legal narcotic?
There you go.
That's a very much the me growing up in the Christian camp where they're like, oh, they burn incense. You know what that means?
Oh, my familiar came out all weird and lopsided.
I think I burnt the wrong kind of incense. This is a cat with wings.
You're descending for a few more minutes, maybe like 15, 20, before Ivy with the farther dark vision says in a lower voice, I think something's out there.
Something snagged my my butt.
Something
That was
snagged your
closer to the
butt.
wall. So.
Well,
Whatever it is, it's flying just at the edge of my vision.
Well,
Which
point where
direction?
it is and I'll shoot it.
Yeah, you have that dark vision scope.
Yeah.
And I have the spyglass. I'll go and stick my eye through that and
Yeah.
point, as she points, I'll kind of try to look towards it.
Our wagon, is it? It's hooded, right? We have one of those.
It's not.
It's not hooded?
No.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
always thought it was.
No.
Nope.
I thought it was like a covered wagon.
Although we probably could make one with our fancy cloaks one of these days.
I mean, if you want to, yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
Oh.
you're not getting a hell of a lot of rain, but okay.
Yeah, I went with uncovered for cheaper and no rain.
Well, we're like
And-
Everyone who's looking through your night vision scopes, give me a perception.
Also uncovered because I always died of dysentery on the Oregon Trail.
Aquaman draft.
That was me, but
Yeah.
I rolled as Ivy.
No worries.
perception. Let's go.
I
hard
think
time.
y'all are just having nightmares.
Okay, one moment.
Don't say anything unless I do.
All right, hold on a second. I gotta do this right.
Nothing could live in this giant cavern, right?
Except for pterodactyls.
No, that was something.
Yeah, a large shape flapped with air through the darkness there.
Get ready, boys.
Nolgrim's going to ready attack of a eldritch blast should he see something flash through into his sight.
Putting money on it right now. It's a pterodactyl. Fuckers
Hey,
disappear.
Freya, get ready with your
Yeah.
was it glitter dust or what have you?
I'm gonna prepare that light bomb.
That'd
Yeah.
be crazy. Clearly, it's a flying shark.
Another one zips through the darkness, so you all can get your prepared attacks. It will be in range of pretty much everything when it's closest to you.
If you see a big nasty Fergus, make sure to swallow.
I'm going to just roll a dagger because it's the accurate total.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'll do it. Okay, so
It's
first
that
element
light
fast
bomb.
missed. Yeah, and that does radiant damage.
I think.
No, yours does force. I know, Loki. I was talking to Fergus. All right.
I don't know what it does. I just remember you told me to write down as light bomb.
It stuns as well. So let me look it up.
So it'll drop a little bit.
It's probably just going to instantly kill it. I'll let you know. Because you guys just did a lot of damage. Where are you? There you are. Flash Spore Vial. 20-foot range, 2d4 radiant damage. DC 15 con or be blinded for 1 round. Not a
double
huge...
one.
All right. So never mind. It's not dead. Other people have prepared actions, if I remember correctly, or was it just you two?
Ivy probably would have, but
okay.
I would. Nolgrim told me to be ready with fairy fire. Would it be reasonable to say I had that
7 damage?
Mm-hmm. You can save your spell slot because yeah, it's dead. It was a giant bat and they just perforated it and it screeches and it tumbles. But in that brief moment where you threw one of those flash spore vials, Fergus, the cavern lights up for farther for a split second. And you don't know if it's a trick of your eyes or what, but you saw 3 shapes off in this. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Control Z. Thought I had the arrow tool off in this direction that looked humanoid in the air. Now I'm gonna bring up the initiative.
Humanoid flyers.
Oh, shite.
It's nowhere.
Off to a good start, guys.
I don't think it counted my initiative. If you want to add me to the turn order, or I can re-roll it. I can always re-roll it, Gombo.
Don't forget to set your health back up to max, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I just forgot to do it when my token came back.
And for the sake of simplicity, because this will become a flustercluck if I do this, just don't worry about Miku for this one, I'll say. Or Miku or Ivy, you guys can take your pick.
Probably Ivy because ranged.
Yep. All right. So I'll just plop him into the GM layer. He's there in the middle of you, but
imagine
probably harder for him to deal with anything right now.
Yeah, this is the first time he's had the sensation of being off the ground, swinging in the air, not rooted. So I'm going to say he's laying on the floor.
It's like
fetal position for a mushroom.
If any of you have watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's like when Holt got his foot ran over. He goes, "That hurt. I am in tremendous pain."
Yeah.
It's basically like Holt. That. I know.
I'm glad our rolls are getting off to a good start.
All right.
You know, so you said Thrum's basically laying flat in the cart.
No, it's
Miku.
Miku, gotcha. Somebody's got to dunk travel.
Yeah. Figure Miku's never been off the ground before in a boat, on a swing.
Do we? Oh no, it's the picture finally showed me. Okay, so yeah, the unknown thing is up first.
Don't attack. It might be friendly.
I'm sure.
Yes, all the friendly flying people we've met thus far.
All right.
We're gonna be great diplomats.
So I'm counting them out because I know you'll see them if I do the little space counter. Coming out of the darkness from that direction, you see. It's still got actions left, but you see this. It looks like a humanoid bat creature with large leathery wings instead of arms.
No, Nolgrim, he is Batman.
With milky eyes.
No. Man bat.
Man, bear, pig, bat.
And it is going to. It used its move to get there, so it is then going to use its action to. I make sure this is at the top. It's going to land on your barrel over here.
When I say man bat, I mean literally man bat.
And give a loud screech. Very much a big, evil bat creature. Yeah, it looks very much like that. That is Taskill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said instead of arms, and man bat has arms and wings. Always an interesting choice when combining people with flying creatures. What they decide to do with the arms.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's why when in Pathfinder when Richard mentioned a harpy wing nailed to the wall, I'm like, so how are harpies presented in this world? Because I've seen both.
Yeah. Do they have dragon wings coming out of their shoulders, or
Yeah,
is it bat
exactly.
wings?
Yeah, these guys actually, it's like, it's very much like actual bat wings, where it kind of looks like arms from the shoulders, but then it has that membrane underneath the armpit, and their fingers elongate out into the edges of the wings. Because if you look up a close up of bat wings, they have like 5 digits and little thumbs like we do.
Yeah.
So, which is both cool and a little freaky, which is why I like bats.
Flying rats.
They're the only other mammal besides us to fly, and they do it naturally, not with machines. Show them respect. Anyway, Taskill, what you doing?
All right. Well, seems like a good time for the 1-2 punch. And, I'm actually gonna upcast this because whatever the hell that is. So it's.
I am keeping it eerie
Gotcha.
because
9 will probably miss though.
yep, that'll definitely miss. You should have the ability to drop your. Oh
Yeah, it's just getting everything.
Yeah, this is why I have like a combat music that's designed to be like a creepy combat one.
Yeah, it's always one of these things where I'm like, I should have certain combat music for these things, and then all of a sudden, I like a half hour before the game, I'm like, oh shit, music.
Yeah.
And that is a bonus action if I recall correctly.
Yep.
So, but that will probably hit
Yes, that will hit.
for 9 whole damage. Commence the stabbing.
Takes him in his shoulder, gives a quick screech of pain. Fergus.
Those black vials that I got from the same lady that I got the light vial from, those are like a tar-like one, right?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I should just pull up her sheet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out one of those, but I'm gonna use my action to, since you said I could do it, I'm going to give advantage to everyone but Thrum.
Oh yeah,
You said I
'cause
can.
you have that. Do you have that feat?
I thought that's what I was asking when we were discussing.
Oh
it.
no, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said if you got that feat.
Okay, if I got that feat, I can do that. Okay.
Yes.
No, then that's fine. Okay, I'll give advantage to Ivy then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was my misunderstanding too. There, I was
Yeah,
like,
sorry. That's on me. But
well, it's good to know for if I want to take that feat though. So
yes.
so I'll give advantage to Ivy as a bonus action,
Mhm.
and I will have that ready. Let's see. I'm just gonna throw one of my spare daggers at it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That way I don't have. Because I want to have that vial in the hand,
Yeah,
and
I
I can't
think
use a
you'll-
bow.
I think you'll have disadvantage because I
That's
think
fair.
daggers have a range of 20 feet, if I remember correctly.
They do.
Let me see. That still hits.
6 damage, because I imagine it's not a sneak attack.
Yeah, it's definitely not. The spiritual weapon doesn't count. Otherwise, that would be insane.
Yes. But that'll be my turn.
All right. Thrum, you're a smart enough guy to know this. If you turn into a rock right now, everyone is falling.
I was really hoping somebody was going to say that. I was trying hard not to.
And he doesn't have the fortitude to do so right now. He's feeling very weak. And so he's going to pull out his light crossbow and take a piddling shot.
Okay. Yeah, that goes super wide.
Yep. No, he probably just aimed straight up.
It flies straight up, hits a skid's route, comes tumbling down. No, you're way too far away for that. That'd be terrible, though.
And kills us all.
This will be an advantage.
Oh, shit.
So that's 14.
No,
Plus,
it would. Oh, yeah, right,
it's
you got it.
advantage sneak attack.
Yeah, I
so
always forget that. So,
Yep.
14 plus 8,
24.
24.
Wait, no. 22.
22.
Ooh, it really does not like that.
Damn, it isn't dead yet? Holy
It's
crap.
not dead.
Yeah, hit him in the eyes.
I mean, we still got 2 characters. It might still die before it gets a turn.
All right. Freya.
Taking out the good old Gloomstalker. Going to put 2 in him. Number 1.
Don't let him take our barrel.
That'll hit.
For 10. And then
Now we'll drop it.
Okay.
Tumbles off the barrel.
Can I see anything else in range?
You unfortunately through the scope you've got a very narrow band of view. So pick a direction, and then I will tell you if you see anything. Like point with an arrow.
Okay. Let me zoom out. I will point this direction because the other barrel we lost, right?
You got. Oh no, these 2 are the 2 remaining ones. You lost the 3rd barrel. That's why I deleted them.
Yeah. So I'm pointing towards the other barrel.
Yeah, there's nothing that direction.
Okay. Well, I've done my due diligence. That's my turn.
Nolgrim.
Right. Power of a move action, he's going to grab on tight to the rail here. And as my standard action, I'm going to hold Eldritch Blast should another one of those bat creatures come into view.
Okay.
Actually, is it okay if we pause here for a sec? I got to escort one of my coworkers outside.
Yeah,
To
no,
the car.
I mean,
All right, I'll be back.
Now, what will missing no do? No, that's just making a comment about the turn indicator for the enemies we don't know.
yeah.
My guess he's going to corrupt your save file.
God damn it, I hate it when he does that.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just take the turn while we're waiting for Loki. Okay, so we got one coming in low over here on the other side of the giant scorpion that's asleep. And this one double moves coming in high, and it's about 40 feet above you guys. Now that 40 feet one can't do anything. But this one here can attack the sleeping scorpion. So it'll have advantage because it is asleep. On 2, if I remember.
I don't have the stats, but I hope it is.
I do, if I remember correctly.
That's pretty terrible.
Yeah. It doesn't. Now let's see. Hold on, let me use this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't scratch its carapace, but it is using the scorpion as cover. And I guess Loki would get his Eldritch Blast because he prepared it.
Well, I guess Thrum can push the wagon.
I mean, if it gets big enough, it'll just be a very, very slow walk.
That would be so slow.
All right.
Can he like sit down, read a book for 2 hours, and then like stand up and walk for 30 seconds and sit back down?
You can just go ahead and take your turn, Taskill. We can let Loki resolve his attack.
Right. Should have checked this a second ago. Pretty sure it's only 20. Yeah, 20 feet. But and then I will take another crossbow shot at that one.
Okay.
14
That will hit it.
for surprisingly consistent amount of damage.
Yep. All right. Fergis.
We're not able to shift on the wagon right now, right?
Not especially, no.
Because I want to throw the tar thing at this guy.
Okay.
I know the scorpion's going to provide some cover.
Yep.
But if it hits him, it helps a lot.
Yeah, he gets a DC 15 Dex or is restrained.
And that'll affect fires quite a bit.
Mhm.
So go ahead and do a roll.
Oh, that's just mean.
It impacts on the side of the scorpion and further restrains the webbed scorpion.
I'm going to curse. I'm going to action surge. I'm going to throw my other one at him.
Okay. You go for it.
Even though.
That scorpion is
not moving.
Yep.
Good news is he wasn't moving to begin with. I'll use my bonus action to give advantage to Ivy again. Sneak attack's going to be worth it.
All right. Thrum.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But you missed Loki. It's 2 more appear, so you can get your Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
This one on the scorpion has half cover. This one over here is 40 feet above you.
All right, I'll go after the one 40 feet above me.
All right.
Eldritch Blast. Number 1. And number 2.
All right. All right. Took them both. Ivy.
I think.
Oh, yeah, it was
skip
Thrum.
Thrum.
Sorry.
It's all right. It worked in. But Loki was
Yeah.
able to go, so he's going to do the same and take a shot at the same one.
I'll hit. Not liking that. All right, now it's Ivy's turn.
Guess I'll just keep going after this one.
Okay.
Best chance of hitting it with somebody who has advantage, so.
If only a scorpion wasn't unconscious, it would count as a threatening ally.
Are you serious? Both times?
Both times. This one's a lot lower though.
15 damage, yeah. Does not like that.
She knows
Man, if I could
exactly
have
where the
gotten
Batman's weak spot is.
Mhm.
If I could have gotten max 6s on those, that would have been so nice.
Got him right in the parents.
All right. Freya.
And then Freya will finish that one off.
Just don't hit the scorpion.
I like
He
the
said,
confidence.
aiming for the scorpion.
Whoever kills the scorpion has to pull the wagon with the other one.
Yep, that'll hit it. I just imagine Freya aiming down the shot at the scorpions like, scorpions killed my father. And then Taskill's like, wait, what? Yeah,
Those
Technically,
were
didn't
spiders.
Taskill go to 0 when we fought that one?
no, that was a spider.
Okay.
Does 6 take it down?
No, it does not.
Okay, then second hit will also go towards it. Oh no, there we go.
That'll miss. All right. Nolgrim.
All right. Another round of Eldritch Blast. First one against this one.
Okay. That will miss.
All right. Second one against the same then. Yeah. And
Another miss. All right. So first things first. This other one's going to double claw attack the scorpion. Still at advantage. Claw. That one will hit. So let's see if the second one hits. It does. Okay. So first things first. It'll do 7 slashing damage to it. And its second one that hit, it actually forgoes the damage and it lets it automatically do a grapple because it's unconscious and like triple restrained. I'm going to say it succeeds.
Mhm.
So then it can use, let's see. Yeah, it uses 10. It uses half of its movement because when you're grappled, you could move half your speed to drag it with you. So, like that, and it comes with it. And
Wasn't it in the web though?
It's
is.
going to be a wrecking ball here in a second.
Oh
it
no!
uses a free action to let it go, and it comes swinging back towards you guys. Oh wait, that's actually right. You brought up the point. It's connected to the wagon,
Yeah, wouldn't we go with it?
so you all go with it. So
Would I have to do a strength check to pull,
Yeah, is there
pull
some
this
kind of
weight?
strength element here?
these things
Yeah.
are very strong, but I will.
But that's a lot of weight, though,
Yeah.
for a flyer to pull. A whole wagon with 7 people and
Ooh,
2
bullshit.
scorpions.
Yep, that'll do it.
17.
Strength.
So yeah, it yanks you guys back and then it lets you go.
Can I get a
Yeah,
will
the
save
self-save
from Thrum to see if he screams like a girl?
Yep.
While you guys are resolving that, this one is bugging out. It flies beyond your vision and downwards at 80 feet out of your sight.
No, he's Thrum's gone into fight or flight right now, and it's all fight.
I was gonna say now's a bad time to try flying.
Okay, so how this works is it lets go, and you guys swing with momentum, and you actually, with this other one, you've got so much like centrifugal force going on. So probably when it lets you go, it isn't the issue as much as when your momentum reverse. You ever been like on a swing where you get fast enough that you have that brief moment where it like bends and you feel slightly weightless?
Yep.
You got that going on. So everyone, including, I know he's not on the map right now, but including Miku, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh God.
Can I get advantage since I specifically said that I was grabbing onto the side of the cart?
Sure.
And
also,
I did say I tied
yeah.
myself to the
Also,
cart.
you because you said you tied yourself.
Ooh.
All right, so Miku, Ivy, and Taskill are going to fall out.
Can Miku?
Unless
Keep in mind-
anyone, hold. You guys can use your reactions to try to grab one of them.
I don't know what the DC was, but could Miku get a bonus since he was specifically laying in the bottom?
Yeah, I guess you could do an advantage. Go ahead and give one for him.
Okay.
I do think I should mention that on the side of this cart, on both sides, are giant 20-foot spaces of web that are entangling these scorpions.
That's why I'm giving you your reaction to pull into them, to pull them.
Yep. I'll try to grab at Ivy.
Yeah, so this will be athletics to grab them.
So who all's fallen? Taskill, Miku, and Ivy. I'll athletics grab at Taskill since he's close to me and probably the biggest and heavy.
That was Fergis.
I'll go after
athletics.
Miku.
Yep. All right. Ivy's the easiest because she's the lightest.
I see. That's why I would go for it because I have no strength.
Taskill is the hardest because he's the heaviest.
You said
I'm going to go
athletics.
after Taskill.
Athletics. Yep.
Oh no! Can Freya give me advantage and go after Taskill too?
Is that what you're doing, Freya?
Yeah, given seeing the situation, I think the one she would go after is Taskill.
It is her daddy.
Jeez, low rolls. I've got a plus 10 to that
manages
shit.
to grab Miku.
And
You do manage to grab the feet of Taskill to keep him from falling out, but I'm going to say all three of you are considered prone, and it's going to take both of your actions to pull him back into the cart.
What about Ivy with the 13?
Ivy is fine. She goes to start flying off, and you just reach out and you grab her spider silk cloak and you pull her back in. She was like a DC 11 because she's very light, and you're right there.
That's why I went for her because I have no strength at all.
16 was the lip where I was gonna let you be just in danger versus just pulled back into the cart. If you had gone lower than that, you would have been falling.
Good God!
you would have died.
Right.
Maybe. You can't see it right now, but I'm doing the Dr. Evil Pinky thing.
What if we're 12 feet from the ground?
Oh!
Well, we'd see it, but
Yeah.
Or 40 feet, and it's only 44 fall damage.
It's just
No,
one
it's just
big
that
mirror.
dark we can't see. We're
Looks at
something
Michael.
actively sapping light out of the room.
Oh, wait, sorry. People who get caught in your web, are they restrained, Michael? Is what the rule is?
Let me go back up.
I think there's a save involved, but
I was gonna say that if you guys want to, instead of having you guys, all three of you, be prone, you can say that you swung Taskill into the web, and he's affected by the web spell, but he's secure otherwise.
I would want him back in the cart.
Well, then you're gonna have to spend both of your actions on your
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure how long that web is going to hold up. It doesn't take very much to destroy it.
The human part of me would want to pull somebody back inside, not throw them onto the webbing outside.
Yeah, it doesn't seem so. Yeah.
All right. Taskill, you're dangling. You're in a position where you don't have any leverage to pull yourself up right now because they're holding your ankles. You could still command your... Actually, I feel like if there's anything, this would ask for a concentration on the spiritual weapon. I feel like almost falling to your doom.
I thought spiritual weapon doesn't have concentration.
If it doesn't have concentration, then you don't have to worry about it. I just don't remember.
it does not. It's a very short. It's a 10-round duration of its own.
Gotcha. Well, then, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, I think that's successfully out of range still, but that was the last thing I told it to do, was go after that bat. But yeah, no, I'm upside down and I'm distinctly uncomfortable.
Fergus.
You heavy bastard.
Gonna gonna go ahead and take aim at the one that just made us a swing and fire away at that one.
Yep, that'll hit.
For 8 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
And gonna give advantage to Nolgrim this time.
All right. Thrum, you need to commit your action to pulling Taskill back up.
Yeah, full commit to doing that.
Okay.
Athletics check, or
No, it's just when after Freya's turn, you just do it.
he's gonna pull him up and make sure he's in, and then look at him and say, "Armor was a bad choice on this."
That'll hit.
Yeah, not the worst choice we've made all day.
All right, and
Brandy last night was a bad one.
that was like 6 days ago.
All
He had a
right.
little left in his beard.
Freya, I assume you pull up.
Yeah.
Cool. So Nolgrim then.
All right. Gonna take a series of shots at this one.
First one
All
will be at advantage.
Yep.
Yes. That will miss.
Always with you, Nolgrim, with the double of the
Right.
same number.
But the
Yep.
second one will hit, kill it.
Pew pew.
As it gets blasted back and tumbles into the darkness.
Oh yeah. Did anyone fall out? Did Miku fall out?
No, they
Oh,
managed to
snagged him.
grab
I
him.
mean, they all fell out, but we grabbed them.
Yeah. Had you panicked
Next
there for a
time.
moment, though.
Yeah. Next time, rope circle around the 6 of us.
I did say
Yeah, that way
I
it
knew
won't
this was
hurt.
going to happen, so I said I did that at the beginning. I'm like, nope.
That
After,
way when
like-
Taskill falls, we all get. yanked
After-
down.
Yeah, because he has the revive stone.
That's all right. We'd find it at the bottom.
So yeah, you managed to pull Ivy back in, and like after 30 seconds, nothing else comes out of the darkness, and she's nothing, anything looking around, and she lets out a big breath. She's like, "Next time, let's just climb down the sides."
I don't know if that'd be any safer.
Pardon me, folks, but I really gotta pee now. And he starts peeing over the side.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look this way.
Same.
I'm gonna use this
Well-
opportunity to belt myself in.
I'm the only one who knows how to use my scaling equipment, and I can only get that stuff to last, I don't know, not more than an hour. And we've been dangling from the spider web for.
A week now, I think.
Hour and a half.
Do a perception check.
Oh, feels like a week.
Can I get a perception check to see if I hear my pee hitting the bottom?
Sure. You do not.
Oh, so much to go.
I pull out one of my caltrops. So I'm like, Taskill, do you want to shine a light on this? And we'll just drop it and see what happens.
Hey, it's an idea.
So
Or at
when,
least we might get an idea how far away it is.
so when he puts a light on it, I just chuck it down, straight down, and look down and see if I notice it move and hit the ground.
Okay. Let's see.
It emanates like a 30-foot radius of light.
Yeah, 30-foot radius, and then you'd still see the little dot of light for a little bit. So I'm just kind of hashing this out in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes just like a little pinprick of light, but you're squinting to see it as it descends in the darkness until it's soundless because it's too far for the sound to hit you. But it suddenly jerks off to one side, and then it hits something, and then it jerks again and again, slowly getting dimmer until it disappears.
Looks like we have another curve coming, or we're getting close to the bottom. Either way, keep an eye out, Ivy. You're the best vision for this.
Yep, do what I can. All right, so about another 30 minutes pass. Let me get this to you. Ivy's looking down. She goes, "Okay, so Good news, bad news again.
Bad news first.
Okay. I think it's a slope.
What's the good news then? We just see another. We actually see something.
Well, it might be the bottom. Also, I can't see the edge of this one. I don't think it's a lip.
Taskill, do you want to shine a light on an arrow, and I'll just point me towards where the angle goes, and I'll shoot that way.
Right.
And when Ivy points, I fire that way.
All right. It's a similar skipping thing. So let me share a picture of this with you guys.
What are the odds we're in a giant mimic?
That'd be a big mimic.
A giant space worm
Flemic
comes
is
up.
mimic.
So next, you see a giant worm come up the tunnel, and the Millennium Falcon flies out of it.
Whoa, wait. If that's what we saw, then we would be in a giant mimic, seeing a smaller worm has been devoured by the mimic.
Never tell
Chasing
me.
Millennium
So
Falcon.
you guys, if you look here at this picture I just put into Skype, you're below the lip there, and so you're seeing this long curve bend in the tunnel.
It's
Oh,
just
boy.
getting better and better. Yeah, we
Looks like
might
we're
be
gonna have to
climbing
do
the rest of the way down.
Yeah, we might be doing something, but we probably should start rocking a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
it kind of just looks like we're gonna end up slamming our card against the side of this wall over and over.
Yeah.
So Ivy's looking down. So, what are the odds that we just roll it? Because I don't think we can swing past that.
I mean, does it look spiky?
A little hard to tell from this distance.
Well, the angle that it seems to be going in, we might have to try. Because I can't imagine we're going to be able to avoid clanging against something if we rock it then, I guess.
Okay.
We're probably going to want to time this right so we could get the doggo out from underneath.
Yeah, that was the second problem.
Could you cast spider climb on your dog?
When they name this place the Great Drop, it's the Great Dropping Off Point, right? The Great, yeah,
Jump. But yeah.
the Great Jumping Off Point. They made it seem a lot straighter than it was.
To be fair, I think this is something of a novel way to get down.
With the dog on the bottom, is it possible to, if we dangle you down, Freya, could you cast spider climb on it and let it go so it can make its own way down?
Oh, let me see. Spells. Spider.
I wasn't sure if it was considered personal or...
It is touch. Although theoretically, you could just let the dog drop off and break, and then I would just spend the next couple of hours bringing it back up.
Yeah, but if we're still going to be rolling tied to the web, it's going to be a little harder to take care of it.
Might want to save your castings.
Well, I mean, how else are we going to handle the dog though? Because currently it's in the way of our cart rolling. Because
if you land the cart with the steel defender underneath, you'll just be scraping and not rolling.
Oh, I wondered
probably
where
tumble.
the steel defender was.
Yeah,
it's just tied underneath us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with webbing.
Oh.
So if we cut the webbing out and then you spider climb it,
We could always tie a rope around him, cut him loose, and then that way he'll swing free and be dragging, but clear.
Hey.
Yeah, that is on the list of things we could do. So currently we have a couple of things. We have the webs on the side that are not going to let us. Because remember, we have the webs on these sides.
but that's concentration. You can just stop concentrating on that, and the webs go away.
Yeah,
I guess
but then
technically
what
you
are we
could have
gonna-
done both then, but oh well.
Then what are we going to do with the scorpions?
That's true too. I don't know.
Well, if we're going to be out wheeling, we could always just toss him in the cart.
Out what?
And aren't we planning on landing this thing and pushing it toward and navigating it? Or well,
This is Ivy talking. I don't think we're going to have that kind of time. It looks like we're going to land on it, and then we're going to be rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we could only roll so fast, as much line as they're given, and I don't know how quickly we're being lowered.
No, that's a good point. It's not like we're going to get tremendous speed.
Oh, that's actually right. If we start rolling fast enough, then the corners would pull, and we might get all dumped out of the cart. So,
Well, we're not going to be able to roll any faster than we are being lowered.
The slack of the line is the thing.
Yes, exactly.
If they're letting us down 3 feet a second, that's only as fast as we can roll.
all right then. Well, I guess we need to get the defender out from underneath there.
Hey. Can I lean over the side of the cart and use the whip to grab a hold of the webbing that's holding the defender?
You don't quite have a reach, but Ivy, since she's got one of those stretchy spider silk cloak, just says, "Just someone hold the end of this, and I'll just go down there and cut it."
Okay.
Because she weighs like 25 pounds.
Nolgrim will tap her on the shoulder and give her spider climb.
Okay, yeah, that'll make it so there's no rolls or anything needed. So she starts going down there. Hopefully, someone's holding her end of the cloak.
Yeah.
Nolgrim will snag onto it and also hand part of it to Thrum.
So
we're going to be the defender, right?
Yes.
All right.
what am I doing with this after I cut it down? Because I don't think I can support it.
No, connect your cloak. We're holding the cloak. We'll hold the defender. You use spider climb to get back up.
All right. So she does that. Everyone who's trying to hold the steel defender, give me a athletics test. You can do one person do an advantage if two people are doing it. Yeah, it's no problem. So
Just out of curiosity.
About effing time.
Good thing I had the anchor.
It just would have been hilarious if it was just you, Nolgrim. You just and it's loose, and it's gone. So what are you gonna do? You have it dangling.
All right. So we're the plan is to pile on all this dead weight, being the two scorpions and I guess the dog could move on its own, and then so pile the scorpions on, pile the barrels on, and then everybody pile out and kind of fireman drill or almost like bobsled this thing down the.
So yeah, when you're about 30 feet from the slope now, it looks very steep now, and going out of your dark vision, there looks like there's lots of jagged stalagmites in your way. You might be able to navigate and roll around it. So what are you guys doing at this point?
Thrum's hanging on the back, managing the line to the steel defender, and when he gets close to the bottom, he's going to keep it. I mean, if you think about it, that thing hanging below us, once it starts touching ground, then it's going to, drag back behind us. So he's going to concentrate on keeping that thing and not be able to help with navigating. Like a yo-yo dragging behind us.
Nolgrim will take his cloak, fasten into a rope, and tie one end to the wagon and give himself probably about 10-15 foot of slack between tying himself. So even if he trips or something, he'll not get left behind, per se.
I don't know if I can drive anything without an engine.
All gravity is the engine. We just need to guide it.
When you guys are about 20 feet from the ground, Ivy's looking down, and then she looks back up, and she goes, "So, I just kind of had a morbid thought.
So
one of those bat things got away, didn't it?"
No.
One of the lines snaps. on the edge of your wagon. Oh. And it's just a whole lot of slack coming down. It's way up there cutting your line. So
hell.
I don't think we're going to get a chance to get out of the wagon.
All right, everybody buckle up.
And actually, when I look up with my scope up the line, do I see it?
Because you got 900 feet. You do see it, yeah.
I'm gonna put my scope up there and give him advantage, so it'll be a straight roll to attack it.
Okay.
I see it too, and I'm like 10 degrees to the south.
You gave us this power.
Oh no, I'm totally fine with it.
I appreciate you game ruling that they can see it instead of just being like, no, you don't see it.
Yeah. Well, normally if it's like you had to search the entire tunnel, I would say it, but you're specifically following your own lines. It's pretty easy to use that as a navigation. So give me the attack roll.
And this petty bastard needs to die.
Oh.
9. Although I'm getting advantage from Fergis.
Yeah, but
it'll be a disadvantage normally.
The second one will be a disadvantage.
Okay.
So doesn't that just end up flat?
Well, the first attack, yes. The second
he gets
attack
two
is
attacks.
at disadvantage.
Second attack is a disadvantage. 22!
That does hit it.
Or 7.
That does not kill it. It cuts the other one. So the two front lines are cut now. So the entire thing is pitching where you all have to hold on as this thing is now maybe like 15 feet from the edge of the slope. And you guys are basically vertical. And the wheels are spinning.
Like
So-
we're vertical, like where the
This
wagon's
end-
pointing straight down.
It's almost pointing straight down. So you're all like holding on for your dear life.
Is there a jagged piece of rock I can use the grappling hook to kind of hook into and kind of use strength of power from the rest of us to kind of yank the wagon into if it falls, it'll land instead of going pulling face first? If you know what I mean, like
counter levy it so that you pull
so when
back.
it's falling, it'll fall on its wheels,
You
and then
can
we
either do that, or you can try to pendulum swing it forward and then cut the last two lines yourself to try to get momentum to roll downhill.
What do you guys want to do? We have to decide.
Pendulum swing seems the best. We're not that far from the ground, but either way, we're going to have a rough landing. Better time it.
Do it. Let's
on our
go.
own. Swing.
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 All right, so you guys don't have to roll. You're close enough to the ground. You're able to do that. And I assume you cut the last two lines yourself, because if the bat thing cuts your lines one at a time like it's been doing, you would fall over cockeyed. So you need to cut it both at the same time.
Nolgrim, chop him out.
And timed it. Slice.
Yep. And you cut them. There's a loud clunk as the axles of your wagon really does not like falling those last few feet, but it is still intact, and it begins rolling, and it begins picking up speed and going faster and going faster. It is an extremely rocky, bumpy ride. I wish I had some Mario Kart music to play right now.
I mean, we do have a few anchors, though. Would that be slowing us down?
I'm dragging the steel defender behind us.
And along with two scorpions that are...
Well, they're
The web spell dissipated.
Yeah. No, but aren't they still attached us by something? What were they originally hanging from?
They were on their own separate webs being lowered down. So you don't know what happened to them or your other two supply crates right now.
Okay.
Yeah, all of our shit is basically gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check at disadvantage to hold on to that steel defender, because it's a matter of it's a jagged object hitting a jagged surface at high speeds.
How fast comparatively are we going? Like, are we going skateboard fast where I'm riding a skateboard and I think I could jump off and run with it? Or are we going like 30 miles an hour, you die if you jump out of this car?
Let me put it like this. The slope is about this steep.
Okay, that answers everything. That's all I need to know.
Fuck.
At disadvantage.
All right.
Okay, so it's chipping and gouging into the stone. Could you roll me 5d10?
I think your animal's gonna die back here.
We'll just try to take the biggest chunk of it with us.
Can you wake it up and tell it to pull us to a stop?
I'm pretty sure 27 hit points is enough to down it, Michael.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah.
I'll check really quick. No, it's not actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Got 32 hit points.
So yeah, it's. Oh man, I wish.
Wake it up and tell it to slow us down or start running with us. The
Why?
damn thing's bouncing around like a yo-yo.
Music for this. Hold on. Ba-ba-ba. Darn it, I didn't prepare a good one for this, so I'll just use this.
Anybody remember the Speed Racer theme song?
Yeah.
So
Vaguely,
let me ask you this, Gombo. How many feet around are we moving?
I would probably say at least 100, but you're gaining speed.
Okay. So, here's what I can do. Long Strider. I can, and then we'll increase.
Don't make our wagon faster.
No, he's gonna make Steel Defender faster.
Cast Long Strider on the Steel Defender. They'll make his movement speed 50. A double move would be 100 feet per round.
Turn into our effective steering wheel.
That could work.
Fucking rocket boosters come out on the Steel Defender we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, its
Turn into
legs
skids.
like roll out underneath it, and it catches on the ground. And at first, it seems like its feet are like scraping up and breaking, but then its runes start glowing green as Freya casts a spell on it, and it begins picking up speed to equal the cart.
Thrum's just kind of staring at it with a loose leash now. It's gaining on us.
Miku releases spores to talk to you, but they all just go whoosh gone, and you don't know what he said.
So what do you guys want to do? I can have it land on the cart if we want.
See if you could get it to go out front and give us some steerage.
Yeah, because there looks like there's some pretty big spikes coming up, and you can all see that rocking up really close to you is a bunch of like a small grove of stalactites.
All right, I'll try to have the Steel Defender go ahead a little bit, so we can fucking mush this cart down.
What skills does the Steel Defender have?
It doesn't have many. It has athletics and perception.
Well, this would definitely be an athletics thing then.
So, hear me out.
You can give it advantage if you're able to slow down the wagon a little bit so he can pass you.
That's what I was about to say. To slow down the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can't use them as parachutes, but it says you can reduce fall damage with these by stretching the weave cloak with 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Could we use that to try to slow down the cart by holding them, like 2 people holding it on the back of the cart?
Have a
Like a
sail.
parachute.
Yeah, just kind of like a giant sail.
Yeah,
You hold on to this.
You can
And
definitely
Thrum's
do
gonna
that.
hold on to the back of the cart, try and put his feet down, and slowly go large, dragging his feet.
That okay. This is going to cause a few issues, but so you're doing. Are you guys letting Thrum do that, or are you doing your slow down parachute plan?
I like the slow down parachute plan.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Yeah.
One that doesn't
Also,
involve in
Just
broken
because
legs.
think about the mental image of this of the robot dog steering the cart with the parachute slowing us down.
Yeah.
not to mention, I'm just going to say this because it doesn't sound like you guys are going with Thrum's plan. I don't want to tell you everything that could happen, but if Thrum does that, now I know his power explicitly says his natural form makes him almost rooted to the ground. So he would stop cold, and your momentum would transfer, so the fender of the cart would just snap off, and he's the one holding the Steel Defender.
Oh yeah, that'd be really terrible. I didn't think about the rooting into the ground thing.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, parachute idea.
Yep. So you can
Group consultation. We're gonna go with the parachutes.
This is very good. I am very happy with this. Give me a Steel Defender Athletics at advantage.
And Nolgrim's going to be keeping an eye at the front and readying a shatter in case it needs to clear out a ominous-looking outcropping ahead of them.
Awesome. You get to It's really hard to hold on to it, but you're able to slow down your roll by just enough for the Steel Defender to get out in front of you. It's needing to go like all out, and it's not like pulling you any faster, but it can now move side to side to give you some steering.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invented front-wheel drive.
Have the defender give me another non-advantage, just normal athletics to try to steer you out of the way of the oncoming stalagmites.
All right.
Say goodbye to the car, fellas.
It is not quite pulling you out of the way fast enough.
All right,
Did you
no.
want to use your shatter?
Yeah, Nolgrim will bust out the shatter.
Yeah, no need to roll. You can just expend the spell slot, and you manage to shatter the stalactites in time. You're all kind of like pelted with gravel and debris as you're rocketing down this hill. Ivy says, well, that worked out well. How many others do you have?
That was the last one. Unless if I could get an hour rest, but that's not happening.
No. You guys see there's a dip gap as you're about to go over a jump.
And I thought Jamaicans bobsledding was ridiculous.
Everybody hang on! And Nolgrim's going to brace for going airborne and the inevitable impact.
Okay, I'm going to need 3 acrobatics. I assume you guys are giving advantage to the people with it, so go ahead.
Yeah, same as before.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying everybody gives acrobatics rolls?
No, I
it's
think it
just
was
the same 3 people
Taskill,
who can do
Fergis, and
advantage.
Ivy.
I got you. Athletics.
Easier than everyone rolling it.
Wait, I'm making an athletics or an acrobatics? Sorry.
Acrobatics at advantage because you're getting a help action. This is the keep the cart level as you're going over the jump. Freaking Taskill's a rock, not literally, but he like shifts to the center of the wagon with both arms out to keep it stable.
There you go. Shift them for ballast there, fellas.
Oh, nice! High roll
Shit.
all around.
Can we just fly the rest of the way?
What happens is you guys overshoot the other ledge that you're going onto because there was like a gap. And at first you think it's going to be a problem because you're flying towards some jagged stalactites, but then somehow you land on 2 large ones that are perfectly spaced apart for your wheels, and you just keep going.
Fuck, it's almost time to plan
buy a
that.
sturdy cart.
Oh, I'm going to have to repair this cart so much when we finally come to a stop.
All right, so now you're coming up to this next part here, and it looks like there is some stalactites that are like a wedge of spikes coming forward that would definitely impale you if you went through them. But it looks like there's a natural groove that goes off to the left and the right. Ivy has enough time to yell back that the way to the left kind of looks like it dips down, and the other way to the right looks like it angles up a little bit more. So you have enough time to order your Steel Defender to try to drag you in either direction.
Right, let's go up.
Right is right.
Going right. Going
All right,
right.
give me an athletics.
Come
3
on,
or
Steel Defender.
Yep, you managed to pull it to the right. So yeah, you pull it up and it smoothly goes up and over, and then you go a hill that has another sudden dip where you go down even faster, like the drop of a roller coaster. Card picks up speed until it rams into the backside of the Steel Defender, pushing it forward.
Like so many shows we've seen before.
I
the
know.
Grinch.
All right. Drink of water. All right. You're picking up a lot of speed right now.
And keep in mind, all of us are dwarves that have, epic beard hair, so that's all looking pretty intense.
Yes. Ivy yells back over the wind whipping in your hair as like now you're going through like these bends where you don't have a lot of choice which way you go. Just barely what you do. Ivy goes, okay, so one last time. Good news, bad news.
Well,
Better
hurry
hurry
up.
up
We
and
don't
say
have all day.
Forget the good news. Just tell us the news that matters.
Okay, well, we're we're reaching the end of the slope, but I think there's a drop afterwards.
Of course there is.
Oh, shit. I think we're too late to bail at this point, aren't we?
I'm pretty certain that we'd be paced. Mickey releases more spores to no effect. It's just like a smoke trail at this point.
All right, everybody, hold on tight.
Bliss.
Yeah.
All right, and you go over the edge, and there's just a black pit beneath you as the cart spins end over end, and you're all probably just trying to hang on to it, even as it's free falling. And you fall for an agonizing 15 seconds of free fall. How many of you are screaming? Because Ivy definitely is.
Nolgrim screaming. Ellie's yelling. No, he's swearing profusely. Yeah, he's swearing profusely.
Oh yeah.
So what I hear is 15 seconds of opportunity.
Yeah, if you have anything clever, I guess you do have one action as you're all starting to be lifted out of the cart.
All
What
right.
can these cloaks do?
They cannot do a parachute. You were able to create drag, but they're not a fully functional.
All right. So the way I see it is we're free falling. Okay. Steel Defender is still up here, and it's being dragged down by the line connected to Thrum.
It's actually out in front of you, and
Yeah.
it was kind of switched to the front of the cart, so it's up in front of you, Freya.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was the first thing down.
Are we close to any of the walls at all?
No.
No. Okay.
You're-
Yeah.
You had like 70 miles per hour, and then you went off a jump.
Holy shit.
So we're like right in the middle of this thing, not in
Yeah.
reaching distance of anything. Okay.
Hey, watch this.
Well, I was going to have the Steel Defender try to latch onto the wall, and then I was just going to try to grab the line.
Tuck and roll.
But
Just for flavor, I mage armor myself and to prepare for any blows I'm about to take.
unless
Nolgrim will loosen the cloak from around his waist that was tied to the wagon. Just get ready to tuck and roll.
Yeah, Thrum's gonna kind of let go and just see if he enjoys the fall for a second before the inevitable.
Yep.
Ancestors, take the wheel.
Actually, he's gonna rage. Damn it! We're down here for a purpose.
Is there anything you're gonna try here, Michael?
not being close to a wall really messes us up a little bit. Let me see.
Use the web as a cushion.
We don't have any webs.
Damn.
I used all my webs.
So Spider-Man you are.
Yelling as you're falling.
Okay, you make webs.
Let me just pull it out of my ass.
As you guys are bickering, you fall into blackness, and I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm sure we all survived, guys. As we are hardy dwarves who all have bonuses to Constitution.
Rip Ivy.
No, that was Fergis.
However,
This is Ivy.
there was a Steel
Makes sense. I never unbuckled
No,
on the
the
cart.
Steel Defender and Miku are fine.
Okay.
All right. So, Fergus and Ivy. Oh, and Taskill. You don't know what happens next. The rest of you, you impact water. Those of you that I said failed, the impact of the water knocks you unconscious. Everyone else, you splash into the water, and you're able to right yourself and start paddling your way to the surface. I will share with you the final picture of what the great jumping off point is.
Oh, so glad I fucking cut myself loose from the wagon.
Start grabbing the ones that are still stinking, especially Taskill with all his heavy armor.
Yeah.
Ivy's probably floating at this point.
Holy crap.
Freya
Is
will
that
have
2,200 feet?
Yep.
Yeah, well, we don't have a
Freya will
card
have
anymore,
the
guys.
Steel Defender convert to boogie board mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's okay. Now we need a boat, and we have one.
It should be worth pointing out that all of you that surface, you can see that there is within like 40 feet of you a shoreline that has a couple tunnels. So it's not far at all to.
Who was it that was unconscious?
Taskill.
Taskill, Ivy, and Fergis.
I don't think two of us have surfaced yet, though.
Nolgrim would be going
Yeah.
for Fergus or going back under trying to find somebody.
Yeah, and Thrum went down for Taskill since he's the heavy one.
Everyone who's searching, give me an athletics.
So I think that means I'll have the Steel Defender go and try to pull it.
Oof. That makes sense after a big fall.
Yeah.
Need a little help over here, fellas. Taskill's sinking to the bottom like a rock.
So though Freya probably doesn't see this, since you with your roll there, Michael, the wagon hits the water actually isn't too terribly deep. It's only about 30 feet. So it's not like an ocean here. So in the darkness at the bottom of this water, the wagon is like upside down and it lands underwater with the Steel Defender still pressed into its front. And it comes around and it just gets underneath it and flips it. And then it grabs the part where you would fasten what would pull it, and it slowly starts like underwater Terminator walking it towards the shoreline because it sinks and it doesn't need to breathe, so it doesn't need to really worry about this at all.
Is Taskill laying on top of it?
No.
Oh.
You did find Taskill, Thrum,
Okay.
but with you being so winded right after you like didn't get a lot of breath, you are having trouble pulling them up in all that armor. Nolgrim, you're having a similar issue with Fergus, where it's less about the armor and more about you're just having trouble getting, I don't know what you call it, water leverage.
Mm-hmm. Just balancing, because Nolgrim has some decent armor on himself.
Is Miku in the water?
Yeah. Let me see a second here.
I wonder what happens if I thunderclap underwater.
Okay, so he's gonna go help Thrum. So you can give him an athletics as well, Thrum.
Although someone probably should go try to get Ivy before she drowns.
She's floating on top.
She's pretty light.
Buoyant.
Miku's
Make sure her face is up, though.
I'm just gonna roll. What was his, like a +3?
Something like that. Let me see, because he is a barbarian.
His page won't come up, so I'm just gonna give him +3. That's pretty good.
He's actually a +5.
All right, so 21.
So yeah, you're struggling with like Thrum is all the way, Taskill's all the way on the bottom, and you're trying to get him up, and then all of a sudden you just see two fungal feet touch down, and Miku grabs him, and the two of you are able to start muscling him back to the surface. That's still, and I'll say probably because Freya isn't doing anything, she's able to make sure that Ivy isn't floating face down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was gonna say I was gonna go after Ivy if.
Yeah.
I
No
think
roll
so.
needed. You succeed there. Nolgrim, what's going through your mind right now? You're with Fergus. He's unconscious. You're not able to get him to, because he's not like holding his breath. It's straight up bubbles coming out. What's going through your mind right now?
Gotta get him to the surface at all costs.
Mm-hmm. You're panicking. You're just stroking away trying to get it, and it's all darkness again. You can have enough dark vision to see where the surface is, so you're not turned around. Actually, to that credit, Fergus letting out air bubbles is helpful because I don't know if you guys know this, but going underwater in the dark is bad because you lose which side is up.
Yep.
It's like the objectively most terrifying way to die. All of a sudden you panic because you feel like you hit the ground, underneath you, like
Mhm.
maybe you sunk, but then all of a sudden you feel the water rushing in your face as you have movement, and then all of a sudden, and you're certain you're standing on rock, you burst out of the surface of the water and you fly through the air till you land in about 7 foot deep water, and you're able to drag Fergus the rest of the way.
What the fuck was that?
Give me a perception.
That's my strong suit. Yep.
Okay. Yep. You just see the ripple of where you popped out of the ground. Popped out of the water.
Mm.
By this point, Miku has Taskill. Ivy and Freya are taken care of, and you guys have descended the great jumping off point.
Now we just gotta go back up halfway to get our scorpions. I'm sure they're bat food though.
Yeah.
I think we're just continuing on. I don't think we're scavenging anything.
We don't really need the scorpions because we don't have a wagon anymore.
No, we do have a wagon, I thought.
Do you say that out loud, Thrum?
Yeah.
As you say that, there's the water rippling, and you see the head of the steel defender holding onto the bit come out, and it's dragging the wagon behind it up out of the out of the water.
That must be
Dun.
that must be dwarven make. What a good sturdy wagon.
Nice.
Freya just standing behind him. Smile immediately to a frown.
Location.